If last night was 8 years in the making, tonight is 12. For the first time in Kalamazoo, it's Central Michigan and Western Michigan battling out in D3 hockey. Hi again, everybody. Welcome inside Wings West Arena. Reagan Cleaves with your Radio Rinkside here as Central Michigan and Western face off in the second of two games this weekend as Central looks to revenge last night's tough loss at home to the Stallions, their first in their three-game series history. Well, if we take a look back at that game last night, it's not really what matters here tonight. We can take a look at it as much as we want, but tonight, as you unfortunately can't see on our end, it's Autism Awareness Night, and both teams, it's been a day-long event here at Wings West. High school teams from all over the area here in the southwest side of the state have been raising money and playing for autism awareness, all wearing special jerseys, including the Stallions and the Chippewas here tonight. We'll give you a little bit more detail on that later on here tonight. We'll hope to get you a little segment from Ryan Grollo, who an education student here at Central Michigan and a forward on the Chippewas, as he talks a little bit about his experience working with kids with autism, and we'll hopefully get that for you here tonight. But before that, we got a pregame show to get to. Again, last night, a tough loss for Central Michigan. Another early goal allowed, 3:32 in. It was Ethan Patty who tucked it from the middle of the slot, and after Fonovich forced a turnover behind the cage and made it 1-0 Western. Again, another opening goal given up by Central Michigan. They've struggled with those throughout this season. If we're being completely honest, only 2 wins in 15 games, and they've allowed that first tally, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. It was a sloppy game played by Central Michigan, not a ton of urgency throughout the night, and eventually you get through that first period. A couple power plays you're unable to convert on. You kill off 3 Western Michigan, but on a 4-on-4 late in that period, another mistake by Central Michigan leads to a goal with just 18 seconds left in that first period. Collis gets the goal and makes it a 2-0 game going into the second period. A heck of a different feel from you going into the break down only by 1. Central Michigan, though, did respond about midway, or about really early on in that second period. A shot from an impossible angle, bottom of the left wing circle. Andrew Siraki snapped one short side past the netminder Connor Torkelson and made it a one-goal game at that point. But 6 minutes later, Michael Stein went in on the breakaway, got past Chris Martin on the defense, and he made a nifty move and slipped it past Caleb Woolery to make it a 3-1 game. Central would get close in that third period again, but they dug themselves too big of a hole. They were within 1 with Josh Gilgren's first of the campaign from the right point. It was a shot that deflected through traffic. It found its way to the back of the net, but then with just 2 minutes left, as Central Michigan was pushing, it was Griffin Crampton to ice it with 2:38 to go, and that kind of set the tone. Again, that first goal set the tone for CMU. They struggled all night to really have any urgency, make clean plays, and will hopefully change that here tonight. That loss pushed CMU to 10-16, 1-0 on the campaign, 19 points. And with the win in overtime by Michigan over Michigan Flint last night, they fall to 4th in the MCHC East. And again, sitting at 3-5 in division play. Only one more series, and that is Michigan Ann Arbor coming up in just about 2 weeks' time. Hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight, and part of what needs to change is that power play. It struggled. No goals in the last 5 games, and only 1 in the last 8. That needs to change, and it's also a couple of bright spots from last night, as tough as that was. You got the third and the fourth lines and the D involved in that scoring. Obviously, Siraki getting that goal, as well as Gilgren, 2 guys that haven't touched the score sheet a heck of a lot this season. Siraki's only got 7 points and 3 goals. Gilgren, that was his first goal of the campaign. He's got 4 assists to go along with that. But again, getting those guys deeper in the lineup involved is going to be extremely important going on as we get closer and closer to the MCHC playoffs. Western, with that win, improved to 8-11 on the campaign, 14 points. They still sit 5th in the MCHC West with a 2-8 record. That was their first win in 4 games last night. They're a speedy team, as we saw, but a lot of things that Central Michigan can capitalize on, including a lot of giveaways that the Broncos ended up giving away last night. CMU, again, as we talked about in the postgame show, was a little bit scared of the puck. They were looking to get rid of it. It seemed like the guys didn't really want to be super responsible for the puck. Hopefully that's able to change here tonight, but Western gave them plenty of opportunities. It's just a matter of taking advantage of those opportunities, and this Stallion team, much to their credit, has improved over the last couple of seasons. They had 12 D1 players, as we touched on last night, dropped down over the last 2 or 3 seasons from the Division I team here in Kalamazoo, and including Connor Brate, who's one of their leading scorers currently, with their leading assist getter with 12 on the campaign, second in points behind Hugo Fonovich, another player that has experience outside of the ACHA D3, spent his freshman year with Davenport. But again, this Western team is much improved from the last couple seasons. They've really spent a lot of time at the bottom of the league. It's good to see some parity as always, but hopefully Central Michigan can eliminate that parity here tonight. Series history, in the game last night, the first ever victory by the natives of Kalamazoo over Central Michigan, albeit in only 3 games played. Central Michigan swept the last series back in 2017 with a combined aggregate score of 28-2. That certainly won't be the case here this afternoon. It'll be a lot closer. And as we mentioned in the open, this is the first game ever in Kalamazoo, so it should be fun. Hopefully the Stallions faithful show up. We're positioned just inside the Central Michigan zone, which is on the left of the ice as we're looking at it. It should be a loud crowd here tonight as this rivalry series gets back underway. While the warm-ups are just about done down below, we'll step aside, come back, take a look at our players to watch and our keys to the game here. You're listening to CMU D3 Club Hockey on the CCHN Radio Network. Welcome back to Wings West. Team's just about to head off the ice for warm-ups at the home of the 1996 ACHA Division I National Champions. Of course, Western Michigan, winners of the old national championships. They haven't had much success as of late, but they have lots of history inside this building. Again, the 1996 national champions at the Division I level. And not going to get there this year, but there's always time to improve for either side. As we take a look at our players to watch for Central Michigan, we got to go with Nick Kuhn, who has played a lot over the last couple of, hasn't missed a game rather, since the season opener, and he has been fantastic. Not necessarily produced much for Central Michigan, only 3 points to show for it. That goal against Calvin, a spectacular breakaway tally, and then 2 assists to go along with that only career goal. But he has been so good in the limited playing time he's gotten. You got to think that head coach Brendan Martin gives him some more playing time as we go on. But he's a hard worker, gets to the dirty areas and gets a lot of work done. He's spent a lot of time playing high-level hockey, traveling around with different teams. Spent some time with Meyer in the AAA level. And he's waiting for his time to shine here, and hopefully he's able to break out tonight. You also got to keep an eye on Caleb Woolery, who is getting the nod again tonight for CMU. It's tough going back-to-back for any netminder, especially when you face 40-plus shots the night before. So we'll keep an eye on him, and hopefully he is able to come out and play as well as he did last night here in Kalamazoo. On the Western Michigan side, you got to look out for Michael Stein. Only has 9 goals in the campaign, but got the game winner last night. Leads the team in game-winning goals with that tally. Has 3 on the season. Scored his 50th point back on November 22nd against Tryon, and up until last night, he hadn't had a point since. But he gets the game-winning goal last night. If he's in the lineup tonight, it will be game number 75 for him. He's been a weapon. He was able to get the game-winning goal last night, as we mentioned. And as well, I mean, we saw a lot of Connor Brait last night, the Byron Center native for the Western Michigan Stallions. Leads the team in assists, as we talked about a little bit earlier on in the pregame show. 7 goals, 12 assists. He's been a dynamite forward for them in his junior season. Just 2 points away from 50. And we'll want to get that. Central Michigan's got to keep an eye out for him. Moving on to our keys to the game, Central Michigan has to come out fast in this one. It's been tough the last couple of games when you've allowed that first goal, especially coming off of a tough series against Northwood, where you play a really tough game, in part because Caleb Woolery played so well in that 3-1 loss. But again, your netminder can only do so much. You got to give him support. Chippewas have only scored 3 goals in the last 4 games, or pardon me, the last 3 games, and that's not going to win you any hockey games, especially when you've only shut out teams like Davenport here this season. You also have to play as a team. We saw a lot of instances last night of guys throwing the puck away, throwing it into the offensive zone, and not really waiting for the support that comes from their D. They're making a lot of, or not necessarily looking for the pass, but looking for the offensive zone opportunity for yourself. You got to be able to look for those passes and play as a team, or else you're going to have a really hard time here down the stretch going into the MCHC playoffs. You also got to settle the puck down. There was a lot of times we've touched on where CMU would get the puck on their stick after Western coughed it up, and they just throw it into the offensive end. Those are opportunities given to you by Western where you'd like to think you'd be able to take advantage of them, and for CMU, they haven't been able to, and they got to be able to maintain control of the puck, possibly even work back into your own end, because you got to be able to create those opportunities and take advantage of the turnovers given to you by Western Michigan. So those are your impact players and keys to the game. We'll step aside. We'll take a look at the MCHC and how that's shaping up as we enter into the final month of the season. Autism Awareness Night here in Kalamazoo. 13 minutes until puck drop. Stay with us. More pregame coverage coming up next on CCHN. More pregame coverage coming your way here from Kalamazoo. Reagan Cleaves, Radio Rinkside, with you here on CCHN. Happy to have you with us again. We are a radio-only call, as you probably guessed at this point. But if you want to take a watch at this game as well, Western Michigan has their own video stream. If you want to have the commentary go along with it, they do not have any commenters here this afternoon. So if you want to tune in, watch it, and have the commentary, you can try your best to sync us up. You can tune into that video stream on Stallion Club Hockey at WMU. That's the YouTube channel's name. We'll have video coverage here for you starting somewhat soon, I would assume, if they haven't already started their video stream as of yet. Taking a look at the MCHC East standings as we continue along live here from Wings West. Lawrence Tech with a 8-5 win and the sweep over Indiana, combined total 20-5 in 2 games. That's a tough road trip to have to make if you're the Hoosiers. They improved to 20-0-1-1 on the campaign, stay atop the division, tied now with Oakland with 5 wins and 10 points. Oakland obviously getting the win over Adrian last night, 10-2 in convincing fashion. They'll finish up the series tomorrow at 1 down at Arrington. But right behind them, as we mentioned, Michigan leapfrogging the Chippewas last night with a overtime win 4-3 at Crystal Fieldhouse over the Michigan Flint Wolverines, as it was a battle of the Wolverines as Michigan comes up with their third win in just 4 games. So by virtue of having played many fewer games than Central Michigan in division, they're 6 points, which ties in the points category with Central Michigan, leapfrogs them and puts them into third. Central Michigan at 3-5 sit at fourth, 4 points ahead of Adrian, who with that loss to Oakland falls to 1-6 in the division. And then Michigan Flint picking up their first point in division play. They had previously fallen to Central Michigan in that sweep, but they will wrap up their series with Michigan at the Arctic Edge of Canton at 8 p.m. tonight. So they're just underway. We'll try our best to keep you updated on these games. And now we're getting down into the crunch time here in the MCHC. Plenty of time to go, but also you guys start taking a look at how things are going to shape up for the MCHC East playoffs. Final, and Michigan Flint wrapping up at 1 point. Scratches in the lineup tonight for CMU. They're down Andrew Porzanic again, as he has been for the bulk of this semester. We hoped he'd return. He did return in the first semester, but he's been out of the lineup the last couple of nights. And Isaac Hopp as well, injured for the Chippewas. He again two big pieces of the offensive lineup out of the question for Central Michigan, and it's unfortunate, especially coming up in a big rivalry series. Well, we talked about those two missing players with head coach Brendan Martin in our coaches show coming up here in just a couple minutes. We'll step aside, and my conversation with Brennan is coming up right after this here on CCHN. Reagan Cleaves here at Wings West with head coach Brendan Martin. First of all, Marty, thanks for sitting down with me today. First of all, you guys have really struggled on the power play. It's an understatement to say the least. 0 for the last 5 games. What do you hope to do tonight and over the next couple weeks to improve the power play's performance?
Yeah, well, we're working on it in practice, and I know I told Michael I like the movement that they're getting. That first power play that we had yesterday with our first unit. They had great movement. The scoring opportunities were there, but at the end of the day, it comes down to bearing down and finishing on your chances. And at the moment, we just can't do that. And sometimes it's like that. But for that first unit, it's really about in front of the net and making sure that you're bearing down on your opportunities, right? And if we can be stronger on our stick, those goals are going to come. So you have to go in with a positive mindset, right? They know that they've been struggling with it, but you can't just give up on them, right? That power play was one of the better power play units in the country at one point in the year. I know they can get back to it. They know they can too. It's a lot mental. It's all mental. So
yeah, indeed, and certainly is. And you hope to get that going, especially in a rivalry weekend. First time in 8 years you guys play last night, and you guys get another slow start. Yeah. How do you hope to get a faster start here tonight on Western's home rink for the first time ever?
Yeah, well, it starts in your preparation before you get to the rink, right? It started on this bus ride that we just took, and it seemed like a lot of the guys were more locked in than they were yesterday. I think they had seen maybe what the scores were in the past. They didn't quite know what Western was going to be like, and just from years past, even back to when I was playing, it seems like we like to kind of give them a good 15, 20 minutes of we're going to see what this team is, and then we start playing. And so what I've been trying to explain to them is, we have to go in and we have to dictate the game right from puck drop. We need to be ready to go. You need to have a good off-ice warm-up. You need to be doing the right things the day before a game, right? And then that way you can start on time. Start early, finish late, as I say. So for today, these guys are going to be ready. We're going to be ready for these guys. They're going to come out hard, and I think they want a little bit of payback for yesterday.
Yeah, indeed, and I hope they would as well. And for a team that relies pretty heavily on your top 6 guys, you're missing Andrew Porzanic again here tonight. He's out. He's got 3 points in his 4 games played this year, so having him's a tough loss from the lineup. But last night you get guys who haven't scored in a while. Andrew Siraki, Josh Gilgren, both guys who have scored their first or second goals of the campaign.
Right.
What does it mean to have guys step up when you have those bigger pieces out like that?
Yeah, it's a testament to the team and the guys in the locker room. It's a next man up mentality, and you say Andrew Porzondek, that's a huge loss, but we're also missing Isaac Hopp, right? That's a guy that is very important to this team, and the team knows that. So you have to have that next man up mentality. Someone has to step up and really take charge. And so it was good to see Siraki finally got his first one. That's someone that on the power play, when you talk about bearing down in front of the net, he had a couple of those chances where we probably could have scored on it. We just have to be a little bit harder on our stick. And so for him to get that goal, that was a huge confidence boost for him. And then Gilgren's been a hard-working guy for us all year, and so to see one go in for him too, that's good. You're just seeing production from different guys, and if we can keep that consistent and then get our top production guys going again, they're going to be a dangerous team here.
Yeah, not even top production guys. Talk about taking advantage of the opportunities given to you last night. 2 goals from Siraki's from an impossible angle, and then Gilgren's off a deflection. You got to be able to take advantage of those opportunities to win games, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about in a 60-minute hockey game, every guy you're maybe going to have 2-3 opportunities, maybe, right? And that's if you're lucky. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? But when you do get those opportunities, you got to make sure you capitalize on them, and that's something that really a lot of this year we've struggled with. They've struggled with bearing down on those opportunities where it could have kept us in a lot of games, and the score kind of didn't reflect that. But I have a different feeling about it. I think that a lot of these games that we've come up short on, we were in those games and we didn't get those pucks to fall in for us. So I always say, it is better to be lucky than good, but we're generating those opportunities, so it's there. From a coach's standpoint, I'm not sitting here saying, we're not getting those opportunities. The opportunities are there. Once we can get those to fall in, that changes the game. I know you and I have talked about when you're in the second period and you're down by 2 goals, there's a couple opportunities there. We could cut that lead into 1 versus giving up another goal, and then you go into the third period down 3. It changes the game, right? It changes the mindset for the third period. So going into today, if we can capitalize on these opportunities, we're going to be okay.
Yeah, indeed. And finally, this night's special in twofold ways. You've got the first time ever Central Michigan and Western Michigan meeting at Wings West at the Division III level, and then also it's Autism Awareness Night, a day-long event encompassing youth, high school, and now college. What does it mean both to play your first game at Wings West against Western and also be a part of this great event?
Yeah, it's really special for our program. You talk about the different opportunities that we've had. We've been able to play in an outdoor game this year. We get to play in this special event tonight. It makes you realize that there's a lot more out there than just the game of hockey, and for us to be able to support that, it's huge for us. And I know that we have alumni and that really care about this as well, and so it's a big deal for our program in general. And I'm just excited that I get to be a part of it. I love this team. I love everything that they're about. They're for the community. We always try and reach out, get ourselves out there with the community more. And so for us to get this opportunity tonight, I'm excited for it. It's special.
Yeah, indeed. And you guys got some nice jerseys. Good luck in those today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, it's head coach Brendan Martin. Sorry about that delay. Sorry about that delay. We've had a couple of technical difficulties here, but we're back on the air. Head coach Brendan Martin in our pregame chat. We're just about to have a ceremonial puck drop down below us here as the teams get on the ice down below. We'll step aside and tell you more about it when we come back here on CCHN. to welcome you
Please here
back
at Wings West.
here
Head
inside.
coach Brendan Martin. First.
I want to welcome you back inside Wings West. The starting lineups being introduced down below us. Time to tell you a little bit more about here this Autism Awareness Night. The hockey community is joined together today in support of those with autism and the research and resources needed to support them and understand these conditions even more. Even though today focuses on autism, there are many other challenges that those in the larger hockey community face every day. And so tonight, the Stallions would like to honor Riley Anderson, the sister of their own Brandon Anderson. Riley suffered a stroke at birth and developed cerebral palsy and had to overcome weakness through her right side and the bullying from her peers that came with that, especially at a younger age. Riley is now thriving and attending college to become an educator. She is going to drop the puck here tonight in a special ceremony in just a couple minutes. But this day and this game, this event shows that hockey's more than just a rivalry, more than the rivalry that comes between Mount Pleasant and Kalamazoo or in any form, whether it be basketball or hockey or football, any day throughout the calendar. So just keep that in mind as we go on here tonight. These two teams ready to battle it out down below us, and they're being introduced as we speak. But just wanted to give you a couple of minutes, a couple of moments to think about that. Again, we'll try and bring you our interview with Ryan Grollo later on here today. Joe Grogan sat down with him earlier on in the day, so we're trying to get that edited out here as we go. Now we'll send it down to the ice for the national anthem. How about that? Spencer Torkelson having a weekend, gets the win last night, and then sings the national anthem here at Wings West. They'll just now introducing the ceremonial puck drop that I mentioned earlier today of Riley Anderson. So we'll let you listen in on that here as we count down toward puck drop.
Riley Anderson, sister of our own Brandon Anderson.
As they try to frame the special photo down below us a little bit more here on tonight. Both these two teams wearing special jerseys, and they're going to take a picture down below us after Anderson has dropped the puck, and now both teams will gather on behind her and surround her to take a photo. But a little bit more about tonight. Both the teams, as we mentioned earlier, wearing special jerseys. The Chippewas wearing special alternates with white jerseys with maroon shoulders and then maroon cuffs with gold and maroon trim. The Stallions, very similar jerseys as well, with the black jerseys, gold shoulders with gold numerals and gold cuffs, as well as gold and white around the trim as well. But the special thing about the jerseys is there's handprints all over them. Down at the bottom, colorful handprints, almost like children. And Autism Awareness Night. Happy to have you along with us. Time for business. Central Michigan starts. Caleb Woolery once again as we take a look at our starting netminders presented by SEMASHIcehockey.com. Woolery playing in his team-leading 12th game of the campaign. 2 ahead of Isaac Leisner, who's played 10 on the campaign. 2-8-1 his record. A 4.28 goals against average and a .907 save percentage. Still, as we dip later and later on to the season, I still can't comprehend how all 4 Central Michigan netminders have plus 900 save percentages. No matter, you got to have help in front of you. And the starting lines for Central Michigan: Isaac Gibbs, Owen Campbell, and Andrew Miller on right wing, Gilgren and Sam Camara back there defensively for the Chippewas. They'll head left to right across your radio dial. Alternate white uniforms, as we mentioned, with the handprints across the bottom, maroon pants, white socks. Western moving right to left. And those black uniforms with the handprints on them as well. Black pants and black socks to go along with it. Their starting netminder, Isaac Kastner, played the bulk of the starts this season for Western Michigan. 13 games. This is 13th, 4-8. His record, a .547 and an .846. Those 2 numbers. Western quickly on the attack. A shot from the right wing, half boards blocked away. It'll go down into the corner. Wells digging in there for Western. Will work it back up to the point. Here's a shot by Friel, deflected wide. Chippewas once again have the puck and will lift it out on right wing. Gilgren skies it all the way down the ice. And this will go for icing. And another quick start here from Western as we get things underway. CMU won the face-off of the neutral zone, and Western, though, quickly forces a turnover, gets it right back in, and already a couple of decent chances for them. Face-off to the right of Woolery, almost right in front of us, down at about 11 o'clock. In front of the booth, Campbell off the face-off will shovel it out to center. Will be taken by Hibbard. Hibbard lofted on in. Gilgren played it with a hand. No hand passes. It was poked away from him there by Langer. Langer into the far corner, dropped it back for Satawa. Satawa scored his 50th point back on January 17th, the last game he played against Grand Valley State. He shovels it down behind the net. Camara lost it to Satawa. Satawa gets knocked down by Jace Johnson. Loose puck along the near half board. Satawa whacks it behind the goal. Gilgren wheels, the alternate captain behind the net, out of Georgia. Will play it to the near side. Armentrout hammered to the boards by Kloppy. Langer pulls it off the wall. Working now behind the net, centered out in front. Kloppy couldn't handle it. Now Chippewas have numbers left to right. Here's Armentrout across that line. Dropped it back for Jace Johnson, but it was poked off his stick there by Nathaniel Kloppy. Good start here defensively for Western on the first big chance for CMU. Bouncing puck at the blue line, controlled by Nick Kuhn. Will throw it wide of goal, and he's hammered into the boards. He hauls down his man. That's going to draw a penalty. Kuhn gets the retaliatory shot, and a big hit on the near side by Siraki. And Hutton's going to touch this up, and Kuhn's going to go off for a rough. Not what you wanted to do if you're Central Michigan. Give Western the early opportunity. But it is going to be Kuhn off for a rough at 2:03. We talked about him being a physical player, wanting to get more minutes, but it's things like that where you can't maintain your composure. You give a power play to the opponent early. It's not going to help you. Face off for Western. They were 0 for 5 last night on the man advantage. It'll be to the right or left of Caleb Woolery, zone to our left. Morgan's going to dig in here with Patty, but Patty's kicked out. In comes Cullis. Morgan off the tie-up. Bounces around. Langer can't pull it free. It's back into the corner. Langer across the way, battling with 2 Central Michigan Chippewas. Morgan in there for CMU. Bouncing puck along the half wall. Morgan wins it free up to the point. Siraki hauled down. No penalty coming up. Western still on the prowl. Back up right circle. A shot by Langer. Save. Rebound just behind Woolery. It was poked away by Hutton. Oh, that squeak through his 5-hole. Hutton, though, on the doorstep, able to poke it away before the Stallions could get to it. Top of the right circle. Stallions on it. Loring, left point. Feeds it down low. Controlled by Patty. Patty back up to Loring. He holds, walks the line. Here's a shot deflected in front by Langer. Rebound. Patty, one-time blast. Blocked there by Hutton. It's still loose. Bottom of the left circle. Chippewas can't get it out. Patty with an air half board. Back up to Loring. Slides it across right side. There for Friel. Friel off the boards near side. Couldn't connect with Patty. It's tapped back to Patty, though. There by Collis. Here's Loring. Down the wall. Intercepted by Hutton. Hutton, though, worked over by Patty as they battle for it along the half boards right from the broadcast booth. Langer sandwiched between Siraki and Hutton. Puck still bouncing around to the point before it's eventually corralled and cleared there by Siraki. 46 seconds to go on the Kuhn Minor penalty as we've reached the 3-minute and 20-second mark of this opening frame. Reagan Cleaves live from Wings West. Happy to have you along, and you can catch the video stream on the Stallion Club Hockey at Western Michigan YouTube channel. Stallions right back into the offensive zone, though. Shot from the point, deflected out in front. Rebound, score! Hugo Fotovich pops home the rebound on the power play. It's 1-0 Stallions. So that early power play and the penalty harms CMU dearly. Yet another game where they allow the first goal. This coming at 3:41. Fonovich able to tap home the rebound. And right off the neutral zone faceoff, it'll roll in all the way on Woolery, and he'll smother it for a faceoff. I was a little bit disappointed when the officials came out today in the high school games prior to this between Matawan and the East Side Stars. The referees and the linesmen were all wearing special jerseys as well. They were puzzle piece stripes up and down the chest. Nice things waved off here for some odd reason. But the Chippewas will take that break. Out come the Stallions, but it's deposited right back in here by Clements. Behind his own net, it's Jack Williams to play it. The product of the Connecticut Junior Rangers in the USPHL gets it out to Patty. Niqua High snaps it from the right wing circle. Rekabah slides it around behind the boards. Fonovich across the way, unable to control for Western. Will be played off the half boards and out to center. Loose puck tapped ahead to Campbell by Miller. Campbell tries the toe drag around his man, but Connor Brate able to break it up. He's back out to the neutral zone. Gibbs tapped it back to the blue line, but nobody was there for CMU, so Gilgren's going to have to go rushing back into his own end to maintain control. And now a missed pass out to the neutral zone. Carnes will play that back into his own end. Long stretch pass intercepted at center. Camara off the end boards in his own end. Will have it put right back to him as Western was offside. 5 minutes gone first period. Fonovich, his team leading 12th of the campaign, has put Western up on the power play 1-0. Behind the net, here's Camara. So Williams gets the assist, we believe. Friel throws that down behind the Central Michigan net. Grollo tapped it out. Brill intercepted it, though. Top of the slot, rocked by Jalen McCray. But Chippewas don't manage to gain control of the puck. They do get it to the point and out as it couldn't be handled cleanly by Williams. Now Dipsy Doodle at center and eventually enter on in. Grollo will tap that on ahead, but this will go for icing against Central Michigan. So another slow start hindered Central Michigan early. And another face-off in their own end. And one of the things talking with Caleb Woolery and head coach Brennan Martin coming into this game is going back-to-back with the netminder, especially in this league, facing 40 shots the night before. It's going to be a difficult task for Woolery, especially if he doesn't have any help in front of him. Wells Behind the net for Broncos, Stallions work out in front. Shot was blocked, the rebound thrown all the way out to the point. Kept in there by Loring. Down the wall, shoveled in deep by Stein at the game-winning goal last night. And Johnson will fire this around the boards. Rink wide, controlled by Jalen McRae. He'll dump it back out to center. Now Crampton in over the line, hoping to catch the Chippewas on a line change. Loring back down the wall near side for Crampton. Behind the net for Wells. Wells centered it, intercepted. Nick Kuhn at the penalty that gave the Stallions the early power play on which they scored. Will dump this in, absorb the check. Stallions try to get it up to the point, not out. Thrown back in by Hutton. Behind the net of Kastner. It'll be worked out here. Stein with speed over the line, right wing, trying to dangle past Kuhn. Hutton does a good job of blocking him out there. Hutton goes at him. As the two exchange more words in the bottom of the right circle as the play is back out at center before it's dumped in by Western. Hutton and Stein exchanging shoves. Stein might have gotten Hutton with an elbow or vice versa. The referee let him go. Hutton now working out his pass ahead intended for Siraki, deflected up and out of play by Kloppen. And we'll have a face-off back in the neutral zone. Speaking of the neutral zone, a little quirk here of Wings West. You got normal stands that run almost the entirety of the 200 feet with this handicap seating up where we are, set up for this call. But down to the end to our right, there's a whole bar setup kind of overlooking the rink from that end. And all of the logos and such at neutral ice are oriented down toward the zone to our right, so even Wings West looks a little odd. Here's a shot from the left point as the Stallions are back to work at the offensive end. It's worked back up to the point, kept alive by Rickabaugh. He throws it down behind the net. Satawa across the way, far corner, working it back up to the point. Tapped in. Here's a long shot blocked in front there by Bishop. It comes back up to Rickabaugh. His shot deflected. Rebound. It's loose in front of Woolery. And it trickled in on him with Langer on the doorstep. And so he holds for a stoppage of play. 8 minutes gone. Here from Wings West. First time ever these two teams have met on this ice surface and in this building. Only prior series, as we mentioned throughout the weekend, was back in 2017. It was a 2-game weekend set up in Mount Pleasant where the Chippewas utterly dominated. Off the faceoff, a shot from the right point by Stein, deflected wide. Rickabaugh can't keep it in at the point as it's cleared out by Miller. And this will go all the way down the ice for an icing again. Very stop and start first half of the first period for CMU, but it's been a lot of icings, a lot of stoppages where, yes, you're getting the rest, but these lines are staying out there for quite some time if you're Central Michigan. Face off to Woolery's left. Chippewas win it, rattled around the boards, kicked off a stanchion right onto the stick of Owen Campbell. He'll feed it out through center, back to play it. There is Williams for the Stallions. He's caught up in the corner. He'll play it around to the near side, up to the point. There's a pass ahead. It finds its way through to Fonovich. Along the right wing, circumnavigating the zone, works to the near side. Back up top for Friel. Hopped over his stick, and now he's in a race with Miller. Down the right wing side, Miller can't get to it, and Fonovich will take the pass from his teammate and dump it off there to Williams. 11:19 to go, first period. We're on CCHN. Happy to have you with us on this Saturday night. Bowerson rubbed his opposite number, Fonovich, off the puck, came up to the right point, shot off the end boards, and that carried him right back out to Woolery. And he had to put a stop to action as that came right into his glove. 11:06 to go, first period. It's Autism Awareness Night. So a lot of the Chippewa faithful and Western faithful, I presume, are up in the bar to our right overlooking the action. And sparse crowd overall, at least in rink, as this is going to drift in on the netminder Kastner, and Grollo charging hard to the net, snows the netminder and draws a crowd. Another unique feature about Central Michigan's uniforms tonight. They're sporting their Central Michigan club hockey script on their chest. First time they've had that in a while since their creams back in the 2017 season. Stallions win the faceoff, work in. Carnes will take Hutton to the boards near corner. Kicked free. Collis tried to work it free, got it. There to Carnes. Walk to the slot, dropped it off right point. There for Haybird. Here's a shot from the right wing side by Fonovich, gobbled up there by Woolery. A good cycle worked here by Western, and we talked about it in the pregame show. CMU had to have a fast start to this one. They don't. They get the penalty early for Nick Kuhn. Fonovich capitalizes on the power play. And just like that, the Chippewas are playing from behind yet again. A massive hit down into the corner. Bowerson hammered to the boards there by Collis. Took an awkward spill. Hopefully Bowerson's okay. Looked to the official for a penalty. Didn't get one. Now he's going to take a run at him and take a spill to the ice. There's a centering attempt by Collis. Knocked away by Johnson. Jace out there, centering feed. Carnes too far for him. Loose in the slot. Picked up by Jace Johnson. Home motor up the right wing. Harassed from behind there by Brill. Johnson hammered into the boards. He and Brill go tumbling down. It's eventually worked free by the Stallions and sent down the length of the ice. And this will be an icing. So another offensive zone face-off here for Central Michigan. 9:53 to go. First period, 1-0 Western Michigan. Fans, don't forget that the CMU Club Hockey Network YouTube channel is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full game broadcasts for all CMU hockey teams. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so as never to miss a moment of Chippewa hockey. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey. I take a pause there because I noticed Jace Johnson heading off the ice across the way. Maybe took an awkward spill in that corner as he went into the boards with Brill. That'd be another tough loss for CMU as they're already out. Porzondik and Hop. Porzondik, their senior leader, who was out the first semester, decided to come back, but he's been out of the lineup the last couple of nights for undisclosed reasons. See him return, but losing Jace Johnson, your overall leading scorer, isn't going to help you, especially when you haven't had much offense all night, and all weekend for that matter. Playing the Central Michigan end, Martin had that squeak out in front. Crampton, the Stallion captain, was right there with the Chippewa captain, and he forced the puck to go rolling in on Woolery to cover it at the far side of the net. 9:13 to go, first period. Face off the left of Woolery. Zone to our right, left, pardon. I should say zone right in front of us as we're positioned deep in the Central Michigan end. Campbell forced to turn over off of the stick of Michael Stein. Will wheel and deal in his own end. Long stretch pass connects with Isaac Gibbs. Gibbs cutting to the slot. Pass one man. Cuts in. Shot. Oh, we lifted it over the top of the net. Great opportunity there for Isaac Gibbs, but he had Alex Magos with him, and he couldn't finish it. Made a nifty move to get around him, but was caught out. Just lifted it high. Gilgren pinching down from the point. Keeps this alive for the maroon and gold. Comes back up. Gibbs shot from the point. Deflected. Rebound. Gilgren bounces this on net, and it's swallowed by the glove of Kastner. Well, this is good to see. Chippewa fans will take heart. Jace Johnson back to the ice for CMU. Maybe an equipment issue. Gone to the bench with 8:37 to go. Face off left wing circle, Stallion end. Off the tie-up, controlled by the Chippewas. Kuhn left point. Hutton throws this down deep. Loose puck out in front. Guided to the corner. Satawa poked it free. Campbell gets it, centered it. Shot just wide. Rebound thrown across the face of goal. And it just goes wide. Satawa scoops it off the half boards. We'll play it to the near side. Langer will dish this out to center. Poked ahead by Bowerson. Loose puck controlled by Gibbs in the neutral zone. We'll fire it wide of goal. Go off for a change. Chippewas at Bowerson, Grollo, Hutton, McRae, and Julian Johnson out there. Stallions dump this deep. Hutton circling behind his own net. Almost knocked off the puck. Got the puck free to Grollo, though. It's loose in the near side half boards. Poked out to center. Friel from center will flop this into the opposite corner. Grollo able to kick this free. Got to the point. Not out, though. Williams shot wide off the back of the net. Hutton behind the net with Kloppy in the far corner. Got it up to Satawa. Right wing boards. Will wrap it around to the near side. After it, Bowerson and Grollo. For CMU, Friel there for Western. Puck comes free to the neutral zone. McRae over the line, playing up from defense here in this one with Porzonik and Hutton out. Porzonik and Hop out. Let's go down the ice. Icing the call on Western Michigan as Fanovich couldn't win the race, but then Jalen McRae getting involved in the offensive rush there for the Chippewas. Good to see him get a couple more minutes. This only his 13th game of the Chippewas. 28 on the campaign. Chippewas have played a lot more games on the road than they have at home. They've played 14 games on the road, 3 games in the neutral site, only 11 at home. Which, frankly, might be for the best, especially for their power play unit. Chippewas just a shade under 10%, only 3 goals all year on the man advantage at home. Stallion rush disrupted there by Chris Martin. Loose puck in the slot. Look out, man behind the defense. It's Fonovich. His backhand bid denied. Rebound came right out in front. It's loose, tapped wide to the near side. Fonovich, the captain, the alternate captain, working down behind the corner here. Poked free to Armentrout. Will tap it on ahead. Here's Jace Johnson with blazing speed. Cut into the middle. Harassed to the outside. Shot just off the glove of Kastner. Back into the corner. Chippewas have it. Kuhn stepping free. Blocker saved by Kastner. It goes up and out of play. Good rush there for Central Michigan. You work the puck out of your own end. Disrupt the Stallion opportunity. Then go charging back up the wing. And you get a couple of good scoring chances, making Kastner earn his paycheck. 6:20 to go first period. Chippewas down by 1 off of Fonovich's 11th of the year. His 3rd power play goal. Face off. Controlled by CMU. Siraki dancing down behind the net. Will wander his way to the far corner. Back up to the point. Camara. Shot through traffic. In and out of the glove of Kastner. It's back into the corner. Loose puck. Bishop centered it from the left wing circle. Loose puck scooped up by CMU. Gilgren let that shot go. Deflected into the far corner. Chippewas still have it. Bishop turning with Ebony won earlier today. Here's Hutton. Wheeling out of his own end. Got it ahead to Campbell on right wing. He coughed it up though, and Carnes will try to poke it ahead for himself. He's got it at the line after controlling that bouncing puck. His shot was blocked. He'll get it back and wheel on the left wing half boards. Miller battling for it there with Stein. Hutton comes in. Big hip check there by Crampton. Stein pulled the puck free. Tried to send it back out in front. It was intercepted. Loose puck into the near corner. Big hit there thrown by Crampton. Physicality picking up here in the final 5 minutes of the first. Centering feed knocked down by Woolery. Stein behind the net. Shoveled it back up the near side boards. Friel there for Western. Pokes it down behind the net yet again. Camara chopped it free to the near side. Chippewas again doing it what they did last night. Lots of chipping the puck free. Not a lot of maintaining control of the puck. Crampton, Stein, and Hutton still battling for the puck. Stein gives him a punch. There we go. There's a penalty on Western coming up. Bouncing puck controlled, and Stein's going to go off for the rough here. Stein and Hutton were going at it for a long time, the left wing's corner at the Central Michigan end in a puck battle / shoving battle. And Stein eventually got his fist up and made some contact with the head of Hutton. And so the Chippewas will have their first power play opportunity of the night here at 15:56. There's a shot from the right wing point off the face-off by Martin, blocked in front. Campbell, Morgan, Gibbs out there for CMU. Siraki as well. Campbell gets hauled down. He's tied up with a man. Body's falling all over the place here. And we have a whistle. Siraki, John with one of the Stallions at the bottom of the left circle here as he took a tumble into the boards. But still, Campbell, who got tied up there, which I think forced the stoppage of play. We'll get up fine. No penalties coming. That 1:42 to go in the Stein penalty. Face off left wing circle, Stallion end. With a bit of delay is some encroachment from all four wingers. The linesman will come out, say, hey, keep your feet outside the red, and we'll be good to go. Morgan to dig in for CMU. Off the type, he's able to win it back. At the point, Martin to Campbell. Back up to Martin at the point. Right circle, Gibbs. Back up for Martin. One-time shot. Deflected wide. Rebound from a sharp angle. Blocked. Campbell whacks this up to the point for Martin. Near side, Gibbs. Shot deflected. And that'll go up and out of play. Great work there by Tyler Loring to deflect that out of play. Good cycle by CMU on the power play. Like you heard in that coach's show with Brennan Martin before the game. He likes the cycle on this power play. It's just finishing. And now the Chippewas will send their second unit out. Camara, Gilgren, Armantrout, Bishop, and Jace Johnson. Bishop to dig in for CMU. Wins the draw. Chippewas will go to work again. Right point, Camara. Walks the line, dropped it back. Jace Johnson steps in for the wrist shot. Score! Jace Johnson, a wicked wrister from the point. The first power play goal for the Chippewas in 5 games. And it ties this game up with 3:15 to go in the first. That's what CMU needed, folks. A wicked shot from the point. Jace Johnson fired that in. And that minder, Kastner, couldn't see it out in front of him. And at 16:45, we are tied here in Kalamazoo. So the two top scorers for both teams getting involved. Funovich on the power play and Johnson on the power play for CMU. Jace's 20th goal of the campaign. So Camara gets the assist on that. As we have a stoppage of play, and it's going to be offside on CMU. Face off with the pass coming from the neutral zone right outside the blue line will be just in front of the Chippewa bench across the way. 2:48 to go first period. Chippewas have tied this up in power play fashion. Boy, that's such a much-needed power play goal for Central Michigan. They've only scored one power play goal. Look out, a feet in front, and the Kastner came way out of his cage, and the Chippewas forced a turnover. They couldn't get a shot on, though, and unfortunately, Chippewas unable to take control of that opportunity. Now Campbell racing in on the forecheck to pressure Jack Williams, and the Stallions will move out. They'll throw it on in. Woolery will play it off the end boards and put a stoppage to it. That's Central Michigan's second power play goal of the semester. They went 1 for 2 against Northwestern back on January 10th to open up the second half. But since then, it's been 0 for 1, or 0 for 4, 0 for 1, 0 for 3, 0 for 5, and 0 for 4 in each of their last 5 games. They strike on their first one tonight. Now Grolo looking for more. Over the line. Will work it down to the corner. Harassed by Funovich. Loose puck left circle. Batted to the point. Martin steps in. Keeps it alive. Backs it down the wall. McRae shoveled it and kept it alive for Grolo, but scooped away from him and worked up the wing near side. Stallions at neutral ice. McRae gets that puck free. Steps over the line. Absorbs the check. Loose puck stays at the point. A couple of more big hits as the rivalry intensifies. McRae from center will chop it ahead to Grolo. Poked off his stick by Patty. Loose in the near side circle, and Western will move out right to left. They've got speed. Rickabaugh will flop it in far corner. It's loose there. A shot attempted by Western's been suffocating in the last couple minutes. Shot from the point, kept alive. Kuhn hammers his man into the boards. That's Crampton. Julian Johnson pulls it free. Knocked down from behind. That's going to be a penalty. Western touches up. It's going to be a cross-check. Chippewa bench getting fired up. They'll have a power play for the last 12 seconds of the period. So patted to the box for a cross check. The Chippewas have yet another opportunity. Scored about a minute into their last one. They've only got 12 seconds to work with here. 19:48, the time of the penalty. Face off, Chase Johnson wins it. Shot by Gibbs. Beautiful glove save there by Annette Miner-Kastner. Able to see that through traffic. 9.5 to go. Morgan again. In for CMU. Right wing circle. Off the tie-up, Morgan trying to work it free. Cleared to the point, kept in by Martin. Wrist shot kicked away in front by Frio. 2 seconds to go. It'll be cleared down the ice by Western. And the buzzer expires here at the end of one period. Well, Chippewas show some fight. They tie up the game with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the period. Johnson fires it home from the point. It goes through traffic and past the netminder. It's 1-1 as we enter period 2. We'll step aside, take a short break, be back with the first intermission report. We'll recap this one and then take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, especially CMU's side of the athletics, and we'll talk about the toilet paper toss. Don't you worry, here on CCHN. 1-1 the score after 20 here from Wings West. As the Stallions general manager and assistant coach Todd Hufford directs the Chuck-a-Puck down below us. We're back for intermission number 1. Reagan and Cleves, Radio Ringside here at Wings West in Kalamazoo, as the Chippewas and Western Michigan Stallions face off for the first time ever here on the southwest side of the state. Things didn't look to start well for CMU early, as Nick Kuhn was sent off at 2:03 for a rough. Got tied up with a man in the far corner, got a little frustrated and fired a couple cross checks in his direction, got the penalty, and then about a minute and 38 seconds later, Hugo Fonovich tapped home a rebound to make it a 1-0 game. Another first power play tally of the weekend for Western, their 6th attempt. And that's how things would stay for the next 15 minutes. And unlike last night, it was CMU to get the goal in the final 5, with Michael Stein in the penalty box for a rough. Jace Johnson got a pass from Sam Kamara on the right point. He was high in the slot and fired a shot through traffic, a wrist shot that found its way through and made it a 1-1 game here at Wings West. So big moments there for Central Michigan. They're able to tie up the game and respond well, much like they did at the start of the semester. The last time they scored a power play goal, that against the Northwestern Wildcats. They got scored on first in that game, went on to win 6-2 in convincing fashion. If they can capitalize on that momentum like they did toward the end of that first period and into the second and third against the Wildcats, if they can do that again here tonight, it should be a good game down the stretch. But for the first time this weekend, these two teams are tied at a score that is other than 0. Chippewas will also have another minute and 48 seconds remaining on the penalty to Ethan Patty, as he was sent off with just 12 seconds left for a cross-check on Julian Johnson right in front of the Chippewa bench. Shots on goal, we'll see if we can get those to you here in that first period, but should imagine, well, I guess I'm wrong. Seemed like it was relatively even through the last half, but Western doubling up Central on shots, 14-7. But all that matters is that we're tied. 1-1 at the end of 20. We'll step aside, come back with a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on CCHN. Welcome back to Wings West. Reagan Cleaves here with you. Radio Rinkside with the play-by-play of this premier matchup between the Stallions and the Chippewas. First time ever in Central Michigan's 12-year club history that they're taking on the Stallions here in Kalamazoo. Well, as we take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard, Chippewas having a good weekend. In the club hockey section, the women's Division II team swept Bowling Green. They had 2 outdoor games. Not often you get to play an outdoor game, but really not often you get to play 2 in a row. They won 7-2 at 8 p.m. last night and then come out this morning bright and early, 9 a.m. with a 5-2 victory at Bowling Green. Both of those games taking place at Ottawa Park Ice Rink. They've had a ton of fun out there. The ladies getting the job done, and they improved at 12-4-0-1 on the campaign. They will travel to a pretty nice NCAA ice rink next week. The Ohio State Buckeyes playing host to the Chippewas next weekend. That should be a fun one as the Chippewas and Buckeyes will face off next weekend. I believe Saturday, Sunday are the scheduled dates for those games. On the men's 2 side of things, not going so well. Adrian came to town last night and thumped them 10-0. Did the Bulldogs. A tough night for the men's Division II Chippewas. They'll wrap up that series tomorrow at 4 p.m. at Adrian. You'll be able to watch that game on Adrian College TV as the ACTV crew will give you commentary and everything else you could ever want from a broadcast. They do such a good job down there, as you D3 fans know, having watched that game down in Adrian a couple of weeks ago. Though despite the outcome of that game, a 4-3 Adrian win, they still do a pretty darn good job. Other Chippewa athletics around Mount Pleasant going on today. As we take a look, the Bob Parks Memorial Track and Field meet going on all day today, as the Chippewas are down in Ypsilanti for that. But then how about basketball? Western Michigan hosting the women's basketball team, and they came out victorious to the Chippewas 80-71 in the final. There, a big win for the women's team as they improved to 8-11. They will host Bowling Green next Saturday at 1 p.m. A big win for them as we'll pull up the men's basketball score here in a moment. But Chippewas 4 games going on this week where CMU and Western face off. 2 games in club hockey, 2 games in basketball. What more could you wish for on a beautiful weekend? As for the first time in a long time up in Mount Pleasant, we hit the 40s. At least my car hit the 40s. It's what the That's what the little temperature gauge in my car said. And it's a beautiful day in Mount Pleasant, a beautiful day down here in Kalamazoo, especially on the drive down. Everything went nice and smooth. Final with the toilet paper toss and the whiteout. 73-52, Central Michigan victorious over the Broncos. A big weekend there. We'll see, hopefully, if Central Michigan can make it a full-on sweep here with the club teams facing off here this afternoon. Tomorrow, gymnastics and Bowling Green are at Bowling Green for the Stroh Center. They'll also take on Bowling Green and Southeast Missouri State in the meet tomorrow. Wrestling in action tomorrow as well with the Chippewa Challenge at American University in Washington, D.C. They'll take on Campbell at 12, American University at 2, and then California State Bakersfield at 4 p.m. All those you can follow along on cmuchippewas.com. Well, those are your Chippewa scoreboard. We'll step aside. About 10 minutes left here in the second intermission. We'll come back and take a look at the ACHA Top 10 coming up here right after this. You're listening to CMU D3 Club Hockey. It's 1-1 at the intermission here between CMU and Western. Back here inside the broadcast booth once again for intermission number 1. About 8 minutes and counting as we get on toward the second period as the Stallions and Chippewas are tied at 1 entering period 2. Time now to take a look at the ACHA's top 10. Here's the new rankings come out for the men's division 3. Chippewas 36th overall. So lots of work to go if they hope to crack the top 16 toward the end of the year, going for the national tournament. But number 1, as it has been the last couple of weeks, the Hope College Dutchmen. They maintain their position at the top. They're taking on Ferris State University this weekend, and boy, did they thump them last night. It was 7-1, 8-1, something like that. I forget the score off the top of my head, but they have been dominant this season. They swept Saginaw Valley State's Division 1 team last weekend. So Hope, rightfully so, at the top of the ACHA's Division 3. Right behind them, Air Force, once again another perennial contender for the national tournament. Lawrence Tech, as we mentioned, coming in at 3rd, but they swept Indiana by an aggregate score of 20-5, 12-0 last night, and 8-5 here this afternoon. A much higher scoring game between the Hoosiers and the Blue Devils here this afternoon, but either way, it's good enough to get Lawrence Tech their 20th victory of the campaign. Oakland falls from 3rd. They and Lawrence Tech switched places from their previous ranking period. They're taking on Adrian, and they'll finish up their series again tomorrow. Beat Adrian last night 10-2. University of Notre Dame last weekend beat Michigan in overtime. They climbed to the 5th spot stay stagnant in the 5th spot. Then Grand Valley right behind them. They got upset massively by number 16 Purdue, who moved up from the 19th spot. They got upset 4-1 today down at the Miami Showcase. Big upset by the Spoilermakers there. Grand Valley, though, still sitting at number 6 in the nation. Colby College up from number 11, sitting at 7. Calvin University, who the Chippewas saw earlier this week, they've been pretty good, but they're still sitting behind GVSU, Michigan State, and Hope. Well, they're still above MSU in the MCHC, or in the rankings. They're behind those 4 teams in the MCHC standings, at least on the west side. Those 2 teams, Calvin dropping down from number 6 to number 8. Right behind them, UMass, another East Coast team, along with Colby at number 9. They're up 2 spots from 12. And Michigan State dropping 2 spots from number 8 will round out the top 10 here for the ACHA's Division III. 5 minutes to go until the second period. We'll step aside. Second period play-by-play coming up next here from Wings West. Chippewas and Stallions deadlocked at 1 after 20 minutes. You're listening to CMU D3 Hockey on the CMU Club Hockey Radio Network. Coming your way live from Wings West Arena, Reagan Cleaves, bringing you the play-by-play of period number 2, Central Michigan and Western Michigan tied at 1 at the end of one period of play, and a big opportunity here for CMU at the start of this second period with 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining on the power play, with number 2 for the Stallions, Ethan Patty, in the box for a cross-check at the end of that first period. Chippewas have a chance. They've already scored 1 power play goal in this contest. Can they do another to break this open? We shall see. Chippewas right to left across your radio dial with those special edition jerseys with the Autism Awareness Night, the colored hands across the bottom. Of course, the maroon and gold cuffs and the gold shoulders will move right to left. Broncos defending the goal to our left. Move left to right, wearing black jerseys, much similar to CMU's. Martin around the outside of the net for the Chippewas. Poked it free across the way. Satawa, though, beat him to the loose puck, and he'll clear it down the length of the ice. Lottery out of his net to play it, playing again in back-to-back games for yet another time here tonight. Started the first 3 games for CM. Luke out. Satawa picks up a loose puck, works in, shot, big save there by Woolery. Massive opportunity there. Now a couple of players take a spill. This is sent down the ice. Icing waved off. Morgan in for CMU. Look past the loose puck. Bouncing puck at center, controlled by Wells. He's in short-handed, right wing side, cuts to the front, but Martin with a good stick work to poke that puck away from him. Now the Stallions still have it. Shot in front. Satawa that high. Rebound. Controlled here by Western. We'll go back into the corner. Isaac Gibbs to pick it up. 38 seconds to go. That's killed off about not 2 minutes. Now a penalty coming up here on Western again. Over the line. Campbell dropped it back. He's got it back in his skates, but Western's able to pick it loose and put a stop to play. So Chippewas are going to have 30 seconds of a 5-on-3 power play here as they look to take this big opportunity and do something with it. Crampton off for a hook. And at 1:21, this will be the Chippewas' 3rd power play of the night. And 1 for 1 of the PK. Camara, top of the left circle, worked it down. Gilgren, shot from a sharp angle. It's loose. Where is it? It's underneath him. But it was poked home after the whistle. Bishop was able to find the loose change and put it home, but the whistle had already blown. So a good start to the 5-on-3, though. Fortunately, it doesn't count in the score sheet. Face off at the right of Kastner. Bishop in, second unit out for CMU. Gilgren had it in his skates, poked past him. Wells is going to have to race back with Camara. Camara circles from his own blue line, working the puck up for CMU, hauled down as he reached the blue line, and the Stallions dump it the length of the ice. Big start to this power play for the Stallions. They kill off the 5-on-3 portion. Still 1 minute and 28 to go on the power play. Jace Johnson with speed, looking to dish it up, pulls up in the hash marks across the way. Pull that up, back up to the point. Camara bobbled it, flipped it down Gilgren, returned past Camara. He's got it center point, across one-timer by Johnson, blocked. Rebound controlled by Bishop, far corner. Bishop centered it in front, but took a deflection off the Stallion and up and out of play. Good penalty. Good power play work there by Central Michigan, able to reestablish the zone. I liked what Jace Johnson did there. He pulled, went down the right wing, saw they didn't have an option to go to the middle, so he pulled up along the hash marks, allowed his teammates to catch up with them. That's how you reestablish the cycle. Central Michigan has needed to do that all semester. Good to see it right there. Chippewas win the face-off in the right wing circle. Look to go to work. Gibbs, top unit back out there. Martin, center point. Campbell deflected it. Morgan, shot, score! Connor Morgan, how do you do? It's power play goal number 6 of the campaign for number 21, and it's 2-1 CMU. Great cycle by CMU. Gibbs worked it up to Camara. He traded it back and forth with Campbell. He found Morgan in front. Morgan somehow able to find time and space and fired it past the netminder Kastner. It's 2-1, 2:23 into the second period. Chippewas have their first lead of the weekend. And it comes on another power play goal. How about that? 2 power play goals for CMU. Now they got to defend, though. They're able to poke the puck away in their own end. Big hit laid there at the point on Armentrout, and he gets his man right back. Western bench into it as the commotion going on in front of them. Up at the point, Stein shovels it down back behind the net. Loose puck centered in front. Great defensive play there by Bishop to knock that, or pardon me, by Hutton to knock that puck away. And it's sent down the ice by CMU. Icing waved off. Racing back here is Hibbard. Hibbard to Stein. Forwards it on ahead, Loring with speed on the line right wing. He's hauled down. Penalty coming up to CMU. Stallions have it. Shot from the right wing circle. Blocked. Chippewas battling for it. Coon will touch up. And the Stallions are going to go back to the power play in a game which has been dictated by the man advantage. All 3 goals to this point have been scored on even strength. So Hutton's going to go 2 for a trip at 3:18. So a big chance for the Stallions to get back in this. Their second power play of the game, they're 1 for 1. Face off to Ullery's left, won by the Stallions. Williams up at the right point, shovels it down low. Controlled here by Carnes. Carnes pushed from behind, he's hauled down. Bodies tumble in the near corner. Penalty coming up here. Who's it going to be on? It's going to be on the Stallions. Look at that. So interference, the penalty. I think it's going to be on Crampton. So that'll negate the power play for Western. A short power play, their second. And the Stallions are going to go. It's going to be Crampton again. That's his second of the period. And with that, there's going to be a face-off in the Western Michigan end. 3:17. Only 11 seconds. Pardon me, 3:27. 3:37, the time of the penalty. Western, though, off the tie-up. Chippewas unable to gain control. Gibbs was hauled down, and now look out. Stallions have numbers. Stein working in. Penalty coming up on CMU. Martin's going to go for a slash. Gotta be careful. Here's Central Michigan. Martin got tied up with a man, chopped the stick away, and Martin's going to go to the sin bin. So a flurry of penalties here in the last minute. This coming at 3:51. A matter of 30 seconds, Hutton's off for a trip, Crampton's off for interference, and Martin's off for a slash. That'll result in a power play for Western. This will be power play number 3. It'll be 4-on-3. Face off to the left of Watery, won by CMU. They can ice the puck now, but they'll just tie it up in the right wing corner. Loring able to back up the puck. Pressured by Stein, who drew that penalty for Martin. Back up to the right point, Loring. He'll walk the line. Plenty of open ice here on the 4-on-3. Stein, Loring, left point. Back up to Stein. Top of the slot. Shot deflected. Rebound. Will bounce down into the corner. Back up to the point. Stein kept it alive right side. Will walk the point. Set it back, Loring. Down to the left circle. Stallions back up in front. Stein works in and he scores! Plenty of open ice to work with. Stallions get it free to Stein in the right circle. He picks the top left corner. It's a power play tally. We're tied 2-2. .423 the time of the power play goal. And once again, each of the 4 goals in this game now have come on the power play. For Stein, that's power play goal number 2 on the campaign and goal number 10 in the year. And plenty of space. Wooler was just a little bit off his line. He's able to snap it home, and it's a 2-2 game. Now Western working back in. 58 to go in the 4-on-4. Chippewas are still going to be on the PK here. Manhold down in front. That was Fonovich. Loose puck right side. Chippewas get it up to the point. Williams kept it in though past Morgan. Steps in, tried to dish it down low. He's got Fonovich on the back door. He couldn't control it cleanly enough to get a shot off. They work it back to the point, down low, far side, controlled by Fonovich. Back up top, here's Wells. He'll let a long shot go, snap just wide. Rebound back in the near side half boards. A couple of players crash into the boards. 25 to go on the 4-on-4. And an abbreviated 9-second power play. Look out, Fonovich stepping free in right circle, knocked away from him. Williams dished it back down low. Chippewas get it to the point, but not out. Williams slapped it down to the far side. It's going to be Gilgren to go in with Fonovich. Fonovich back behind the net, trying the wraparound. He's got it back behind Woolery. Free to the left circle, a shot. That was over top, and Woolery has it in his glove. He'll hold on, 4-on-4 over, 14 seconds of time on the power play here for Western. Western currently 2 for 2 on the power play, as best as I can figure it. They had 3 opportunities. But with that goal, actually no, I think they're 2 for 3. Neither way, Chippewas able to kill off the rest of that power play. Stallions still on the offensive though. Stretch pass. That will go down the ice. Good heads up play by Miller off the bench to replace Martin to beat out that icing. Stallions with the puck. Good play by Gibbs to work it free. Miller falling down right in front of his own bench. Sent it on goal. It was wide of goal. Magos will play it back out to center. Gibbs, a no-look pass. Will go back. His defensemen have to chase after it. Cleared out to center. Gibbs. Inner side half ball. Battling a couple of Stallions. Campbell comes free with it. Chippewas onside. This one's sent on in, and Kastner will hold. An eventful start to this second period. 2 power play goals in the first 5 minutes, and 4 penalties called, 2 aside. We're just in the first 5 minutes of the second period. A lot more free-flowing here in the last 2 minutes or so. That came off of a couple of power play opportunities. Jace Johnson off the face-off, able to shovel it around behind the net. Chippewas able to force a turnover along the half wall. Hutton slams it behind the net. Loring back there for Western. Came free across the way, worked free there by Hebard. Up the wing. Here's Loring across the line. That's going to be offside against Western. And as the man trailing on the left wing, just a bit ahead of the play. 13:06 to go, second period, 2-2 hockey game here from Wings West. And the 4th time ever these 2 teams have faced off at the Division III level. CMU won the first 2 by a combined score of 28-2. Western got the rematch 8 years later. Last night 4-2, and Chippewas trying to come back and even up the series and earn the weekend split. Had some good work in that first period, especially toward the end. You get the 2 power play goals. Problem is, Western's power play's clicking just as much as yours is right now. Both teams 0 for on the power play last night. CMU 0 for 4, Western 0 for 5. Now the Stallions cause a turnover in the offensive end. They've got it up at the point. Cycle to the near side, poked away though by Hutton. Great play by him pinching up at the point. Pardon me, that's Kuhn. I'm getting 12 and 22 mixed up here tonight. Both similar style skaters. And with the new jerseys, the numerals a little bit different than the ones we're used to. 8 minutes gone here, second period. Working out of his own zone, Hebard. Up to Stein, will work across the line with Wells and Crampton. His shot from the right wing side, sticked away by Woolery. Out comes CMU, stretch pass off the glove, out at center. McRae just over the line, but he's onside there with Johnson. Julian down into the corner, will back it up to McRae. McRae pinching down, and what do we have here? A penalty coming up. High stick the call. Is it on Western or CMU? Linesman's taking somebody. Oh no, it's going to be Julian Johnson. So he goes down into the corner to try to get that puck. Catches a man up high, and it's another power play opportunity here for Western. 8:15. The time of the penalty to Julian Johnson. Fourth or fifth power play of the game for Western. We'll try to clear that up during the break. Again, they had 4-on-3 they scored on, and then had a 4-on-4, each of which could have been a separate power play on only 2 penalties. Look out, a breakaway here for the Stallions. Cutting it on goal, big save by Woolery, and he gets pulled into, and he'll take exception, but quickly realize it was unintentional. Give the Stallion a pat and say, hey, sorry about that. You're good. Big opportunity there, though, for Western. It was Wells working down the slot, able to find the loose puck at center. And now Gilgren and the Chippewas trying to send fresh bodies out there, but a couple of their guys plowed into the net. And so CMU won't be able to change their lines. It'll be a face-off to the left of Woolery. So you evade the danger for now. Still a minute 42 left in the Johnson penalty. Western's fourth of the night. We're going to go with fourth, and if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself during the intermission. Trying to get the, looks to be a deep groove in the crease of Woolery, as they're trying to fix it with some snow and water from his water bottle. But we talked about him playing back-to-back games. This is the first time he's played back-to-back since the first 3 games of the season, where he played against Ferris State, made 33 saves on the road in that 3-2 loss, and then came back the next night, won 5-4 in overtime, making 33 saves on 37 shots. The Chippewas came out with Christopher Martin's first overtime and game-winning goal of his career. Then the trouble started for him on Saturday, the next week against Grand Valley State, faced 36 shots and made 35 saves. Had to come out later on. Now a backdoor feed, that was just sent wide. How did the man miss that on the back door? It was Ethan Patty, somehow with a gaping net mouth. Did not put it wide, and now it's going to be offside here on Western. Just barely, and Tyler Loring giving it to the linesman who made that call. And now Loring's going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. He kept jawing and finally he's going to go. Loring still yapping as he goes into the penalty box. So that'll even things up. 1:25 left on the Johnson penalty. We'll go 4-on-4 for that duration. It's coming at 8:50. So he's off for unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll play 4-on-4. And under the open ice seemed to help Western here throughout this series. They scored 4-on-4 goal in the last couple of minutes of that first period yesterday. And they got the 4-on-3 power play goal to tie things up moments ago. Now look out. Here's Williams down the left wing, centered out in front, broken up there by Camara, and away come the Chippewas. Here's Gibbs on a rink wide feed from Campbell across that line left side. Will cut under the shot, deflected up and out of play by the captain Griffin Crampton. 53 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. 10:38 to go, second period. Chippewas and Stallions. Chippewas are going to want this power play. They've got their speedy guys out there right now. Hutton, Gibbs, Campbell, and Bowerson. Stallions win the face-off. Here's Collins up right wing with a head of steam. Over the line. Will duck into the right wing. Circle and pull up. In the corner. Worked over by Hutton, though. And away comes number 22 in white. In his 28th game all season. He'll dump it deep. The sophomore out of Novi. Pursuing it behind the play. He'll take the body to Stein. Loose puck, though, controlled by Cullis. 25 to go in the 4-on-4. 58 to go in the Loring penalty. 40 seconds difference. How quickly over the line. Here's a shot saved by Woolery. And a crowd gathers as Hebert hauled his man down. That was Bowerson. Those two got tangled up. Nothing, though, comes of that. That was Bowerson and Collis. Past the halfway point of the second period. 14 seconds to go in a 2-2 game. It's back and forth. Both teams getting their chances. Chippewas rebounding from a tough first period. Well, although they came out of it tied, we're doubled up in shots, 14-7. Face off to the left of Woolery. Connor Morgan to dig in with Satawa. Justin Satawa, the junior out of Little Caesars and Oakland Junior Grizzlies programs. Some are unable to win the face-off. Chippewas will look to start the breakout. Here's Jace Johnson with a head of steam. Will duck around the check and pursue it deep with Morgan in to help. 4-on-4 over. Power play now for CMU for the next 32 seconds. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Controlled by Kloppe. Chippewas pressuring it deep. It'll be dumped down the ice. Took a hot hop out of Caleb Woolery's glove. And it'll be controlled as here comes Chris Martin. Long stretch passes. Got Morgan. Has the second goal tonight. Dropped it off for Kuhn. Steps in. Shot blocked by Rickabaugh. Rickabaugh's got it. He'll clear it down the ice. Clements had it hop up into the air off his stick. He's back defensively. Left it off there with 4 seconds to go to Jace Johnson. Stretch pass out to the neutral zone. Armentrout. Rolled backhanded in, lowering out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Chippewas 2 for 4 on the power play. Western likewise 2 for 4. Stallions working out left to right in those black uniforms. Pass ahead to Kloppe, too far. Clements is going to go in with him as they work behind the net. It's caught up, controlled now here by Fonovich. Fonovich cut into the front, saved by Woolery. He gets knee in the head, albeit unintentionally. And it's going to be an icing call on Central Michigan. Fonovich picked up the puck in the left wing circle, cut to the front of goal. And kind of got tied up. And his back leg lifted up and collided with Woolery. Surprised there wasn't a penalty call given how tight the referees have called this second period. 6 penalties compared to 3 in that first. Right off the face-off, Stallions have it in front. It comes loose. Big save, Woolery. Rebound, they score! Scramble in front. Woolery couldn't gobble up the initial shot. It looks like Fonovich. He's going to be first to the line. It's 3-2 Stallions. So 11:34 the time of this one. It's a scramble in front. Chippewas can't win the draw cleanly, and they can't maintain possession in front. The shot initially came. Woolery was able to make the save, but Fonovich right on the doorstep, able to poke it home. 3-2 Western, their second straight goal. They're back on top. Now through center, Chippewas control it. Siraki to the outside, cutting over the shot, deflected, and into the net goes a Chippewa. Looks like Jake Bishop. You know, for this being a rivalry game in these two schools, obviously famously hating each other, we haven't had too much extracurriculars or guys going and protecting their netminders for either team. Face-off's going to be deep in the Stallion end. Face-off to the left wing circle. Bishop digging in for CMU. Morgan comes in to help win the face-off, but it comes up to the right point where it was vacated by Gilgren. Gilgren pitchforks this on ahead. Siraki jams this into the zone. Under 8 minutes to play, second period. Stallions up by 1 after Stein and Fonovich came back. The Chippewas were up 2-1. Shot from the right point, blocked in front. Morgan's got it. Tried the backhand. Bid denied. Rebound controlled. Here's Patty up right wing. Old cut in. Lift it deep. In pursuit. Tried to center it. Cut off by Camara, though. He's got it left wing corner. Worked over by Fonovich, though. Fonovich centered it. Loose puck in the circle. Jam away at it. It's loose out in front. Fonovich tapped it wide. Rebound. It's under Woolery. Still loose. And it's jammed away. There's a shot by Williams. Didn't get a ton on it. Chippewas have it. No work up the near side boards. Camara from neutral zone will dump it on in. 6:15 to go, second period. Chippewas down by 1 here to the Stallions. Game 2 of the weekend. Fonovich working up right wing. He's got 2 goals tonight. Steps to the outside, right wing circle. Around the back of the net, hauled down as he crashed it. And the Chippewas able to pick up the loose puck. Jace Johnson steps around to check, steps around another one as the end of the zone with Collis. He's tied up there. McRae in to help his old teammate at Riverview Cabrini. They can't do it though. Collis over the line, right wing for the Stallions. Pressure to the outside, works it behind the net. Here's an opportunity. Try the wraparound on the reverse. Good look there for Seth Brill, but couldn't stuff it home on the near side. This will roll in on Woolery from the far corner, and he'll put a stop to it. 6:31 to go, second period. Chippewas down by 1. Chippewas were down 1-0 at one point. Came back, tied the game, took the lead. Goals from Johnson and Morgan both on the power play. Funovic's second tally to put Western up by 2. Look out, they force a turnover, working in, saved by Woolery. That popped right out of his glove. Another big opportunity on the rebound there for Western Michigan. And Chippewas lucky they don't convert. Bouncing puck back to the CMU line. Brill on the forecheck, coughed it up, rebound. And Corrin sent that one wide. Back into the corner. Crampton picks up the loose puck. Here's Collis behind the net. Up to the point. Work to the near side. Magos. His shot wide off the end boards. And oh, look out. The net comes off its moorings. Andrew Miller back defensively. Chippewas won't be able to change. Not often you see the Chippewas dress 3 netminders. They've got Woolery in net to our right. And then Isaac Leisner, Lauren Jones both getting the dress tonight. Only scratch in the lineup in terms of healthy scratches was Nick Wilson, with both Andrew Porzonik and Isaac Hopp out. And of course, the graduation of Nathan Bottles, putting this already slim Chippewa lineup down to the point where we're moving forwards a D around. And Jalen McRae, who naturally plays defenseman, he's been up at the forward position the last 2 games. And for your goalies, you're able to dress 3 of them. Look out, off the end boards, a loose puck at the side of the net. And the Stallions, that Stein couldn't jam it home. It's back in the near corner. Stallions still have it. Behind the net, working, there is Langer. Langer coughed it up, tried to feed it to the point. Didn't have a man there. It's all the way down the ice. 5:20 to go, second period. Chippewas down by 1. Stallions leading 3-2. Stretch pass to the neutral zone. Kloppy deflects this on in. It'll roll right in on Woolery under the pressure from Langer, albeit a little bit lackadaisical pressure. Woolery will freeze. Mentioned Woolery playing in his second straight game. First time he's done that since first 3 games of the season, where he played all 3 and started all 3. And at what point, I hope you don't have to think about this, but you got to think at some point he's going to get a little bit tired. And as I say that, he's getting up on one leg. Now Jace Johnson the other way, cuts in. Oh, that shot went off the glove. There of Kastner. Rebound. To the far side, Jace Johnson ducking down to the corner, hammered to the boards by Langer. By Loring, pardon me, with a tick down under 4:40 to play. It's tied up in the far corner. Armentrout cramped in there. Eventually worked free here by Hebert. Hebert up through the neutral zone. Disrupted momentarily there by CMU, but Stallions come right back in. Shot from the sharp angle. The near side deflected up. Loose puck bouncing out in front of Woolery. It's loose. It's underneath him. And he holds on. And the crowd gathers in front. There's Josh Gilgren back there defensively for CMU. There's a pleasant conversation with Crampton. Nothing further comes of that. And Western unable to win the faceoff again. CMU through the neutral zone. Bouncing puck at the Stallion line. That comes back out. Siraki hammers it on in. And we saw that last night. Chippewas forcing turnovers at the Western blue line and then picking up the puck and just chopping it into the zone without much thought to possession. Morgan, though, is able to force a turnover. He's got it deep in the zone. Back up to the left point. Bowerson shot through traffic. Deflected just wide. Actually, I think that went straight through. Up at the far point. Chippewas keep it alive. Siraki hammers it around the boards. Back to the near side. Williams able to chip it up to the point. Not out. Edmond, though, will finish the job. He gets sandwiched between Siraki and Bishop as the puck wafts down into the Chippewa end to our right. 3.5 to play, second period. Chippewas down by 1. Williams back in his own end for the Stallions. Dropped it off to the alternate captain, Friel. Got it near side, Fonovich. He's got 2 tonight. On the near side is 12th and 13th of the campaign. Fonovich over the line looking for the hat trick. Penalty coming up as he gets tripped over the line. Stallions have it deep in the Chippewa end. It's kicked down in front. And the whistle blown. The penalty coming up on the Chippewas at the 17-minute mark of the second period. Gibbs goes off. And for Fonovich, shows you just how deadly someone can be with that speed, that skill. Able to draw a penalty. Not entirely unlike Patrick Mahomes, who, much to the chagrin of a lot of fans in the National Football League, seems to get calls. Not that Fonovich got that call, as Gibbs definitely did trip him as he came over the line. 5th power play of the game here for Western. Crampton worked it down along the boards, back up to Loring at the point. He coughed it up, though. And it's back up to the neutral zone, and now CMU's job is to pressure through the neutral zone. Nick Kuhn out there getting some penalty kill work here for the Chippewas. Here's Patty across that line. Chippewas ease up. Right wing hash marks. Patty centered it. Fonovich. He's hauled down. Loose puck off the right pad of Woolery. Came back across the way. Carnes worked it down behind the net. Here's Wells. He's got it far hash marks. Up to Carnes at the point. He'll step down to the circle far side. His shot blocked. Rebound chopped at. And sent down the ice by CMU. Look at Jace Johnson in pursuit for CMU. Pressures his man to the boards here on the forecheck. He gets hooked, wants a penalty, not going to get one. And he's got to get back defensively. Loring over the line here for the Stallions. Dropped it back left point. Here it comes Wells. Centered it in front off of Woolery. It's loose in front of him. And the Chippewas have it. Kuhn pokes it on ahead. Jace Johnson with speed. He's got Kuhn trailing on a 2-on-2. Dropped it back. Kuhn has it. Shoot off the crossbar. Big opportunity there for Nick Kuhn to get his second of the game, or second of the year rather. But he rings it off the pipe. He's frustrated as he goes to the bench. A big opportunity there, shorthanded for CMU. Now the Stallions entering the zone. This will deflect up and out of play. Face off at center with 1:38 to go in the period. Talk about opportunities. Right there, Nick Kuhn. Plenty of time and space on that 2-on-2. Good job by Johnson to kind of create that time and space. And Nick Kuhn, the freshman out of Forest Hills Northern Eastern, played for the Bird Dogs all 4 years in high school. All 3 years. His last 3. Picked up 44 points in 65 games. Chippewas able to stymie the Stallion rush. I keep doing that. As traditionally, they are the Western Michigan Broncos. Instead, with the club team, they're unable to use the varsity moniker. So a pass from the side of that. Big save there by Woolery on Stein. Now the Chippewas back to full strength. The pass ahead intended for Bishop. He was fresh off the bench. Was cut off at the neutral zone. 52 seconds to go, second period. Across the way, here come the Stallions. Right down right wing, left wing parting. Stein behind the net. He coughed it up. Worked back out to center. 40 seconds to go in the period. Morgan off for a change. Williams on the near side, pressured by Jake Bishop. Great forechecking pressure here, and here's Miller to come in and help out. Don't have anybody supporting on the wing, though. From the point, Camara pushes it deep. Bishop into the corner. It's a 2-on-2 battle. Bishop trying to work it in front. Cut off by Carnes. Camara from the point kept it in. Magos with 20 seconds to go in the period. Hemmed in his own corner. Gibbs from the left point. Settles it down behind the net. Miller trying to turn it in front. Knocked away. Rebound cleared back out to the neutral zone. Carnes in a race for it. He and Camara are going to go into the corner here with 2 seconds to go. Camara wins the race. Pokes the puck free. And that'll do it. An eventful second period. 2 power play goals. 1 for each team. And Fonovich tacks on the extra one. It's 3-2 at the end of 40 minutes. We'll step aside. Come back for the second intermission report here on CCHN. We'll take a look at the professional out-of-town scoreboard, rectify a mistake that was made yesterday in the out-of-town scoreboard regarding the Grand Rapids Griffins, and we'll talk about that and more coming up next here on the CMU Club Hockey Radio Network. Well, I often say the middle 20 of a hockey game can dictate how the pace of play is going to go, and certainly this one's been exciting. A back-and-forth second period. Came into this one tied at 1. Goals from Fonovich and Jace Johnson. Both the team's leading scorers getting involved in the action on the power play in that first period. And then Connor Morgan on an early power play for CMU with Crampton in the box on a 5-on-4. As the Broncos were able to kill off the 5-on-3. Morgan was able to find the puck in the slot and snap it home to make it a 2-1 game at that point. Just 2 minutes later, though, Michael Stein with his second of the weekend and second against the Chippewas all time on the power play himself, snapped it past Caleb Woolery and made it a 2-2 game. And we played lots of 4-on-4 in that period with 7 penalties called in that second period, including a late one on CMU. Luckily, though, Chippewas was able to kill off the 4th and 5th power plays of the night for Western. And only down by 1 as Fonovich got the tally at 11:34 of that second period. On a scramble in front, he was able to find the loose puck and tap it home on the rebound after Woolery made the initial save. And that's where we stand at the end of 40 minutes. Shots on goal in that second period. Oh my goodness. 22-4 for CMU, or for Western Michigan. And somehow CMU is still only down by 1 and they scored a goal. My goodness. Now I will caveat that by saying these shots on goal are tallied by Thomas Rofe, the goaltending coach for Central Michigan, who sends them to me at the end of every period. And I don't know, 36 seems like a lot for Caleb Woolery, and that's now on the weekend. If I do my math right here, he faced 42 shots last night and 36. He's faced 78 shots in the last 5 periods. He has been put to work, to say the least. A couple of tough periods for Woolery, but he's sticking with it. He's only allowed 1 even strength goal here tonight as we get into this final 20 minutes of play coming up in about 12 minutes time. The Chippewas certainly need to get some offense going, and they have here through this one, but it's been all on the power play. Johnson and Morgan on the power play, but Nick Kuhn, as we talked about earlier, took that early penalty that led to that first goal for Western, but he had a fantastic opportunity on a 2-on-2 with Johnson That's Jace working down the left wing. Jace pulled up in the circle, found Kuhn in the slot. Plenty of time and space, just rung it off the crossbar. It's a game of inches, that's for sure. And right now, Western has that advantage. They're up 3-2 here at the end of 40 minutes. We'll step aside, take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard when we come back here, and then final period of action coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're in a tight one. 3-2 at the end of 40. Stay with us. More coming up next on CCHN. Welcome back inside Wings West. Chippewas down by 1 as we get ready for the third period of action coming up in about 10 minutes' time. But first of all, before we get to that, mea culpa, maxima culpa. Last night I mentioned that the Griffins of Grand Rapids variety in the American Hockey League did not play until next Wednesday. I was looking at their home schedule when I wrote that down. And indeed, they don't play at home until next Wednesday against the Rockford IceHogs. On the contrary, they played early today at 3 p.m. against the Manitoba Moose. So that was a fantastic game as Sheldon Dries scored both goals in that game for Grand Rapids. They come out with a 2-1 victory. They outscored in the last 4 periods of that series the Moose by a score of 6-1 in the final 4 periods. Obviously, the Griffins came roaring back on Thursday with a 4 unanswered goals in the third period. Come back and win 5-4 to earn game 1 of that series. And then earlier today with 2 goals from Sheldon Dries give the Griffins a 2-1 victory over the Manitoba Moose. They will return to Van Andel Arena on Wednesday, January 29th against the Rockford IceHogs at 7 p.m. They will battle the IceHogs on AHL TV. The Griffins improved to 22-12, 3-1. The IceHogs sitting at 16-17, 4-1. They'll get things underway at 7 p.m. Then the Griffins extend that lead for the division as they're 5 points ahead of the team directly behind them in the Texas Stars, or at least were yesterday. They continue to be 5 points ahead of them with the win yesterday, and Texas ended up picking up a win as well. So one win behind Grand Rapids in the standings, 24-23. But if you look at the overtime loss and the shootout losses, Griffins have 3 more, and that's the difference in the Central Division as of right now. We take a look at the Saginaw Spirit as well. They dropped a tough 6-7 shootout loss to Kingston in the Frontenacs last night. And in the shootout, they do get the point, though, so they maintain their second place position in the West above the Flint Firebirds and leagues behind the Windsor Spitfires, who, as of last night, were up 20 points on the Spirit. They're back in action, sitting at 22-19, 1-1 on the campaign. They'll take on the Ottawa 67s in Ottawa on Sunday at 2 p.m. As we take a look at the Detroit Red Wings as well, they pick up a much-needed win, 2-0 over the Tampa Bay Lightning earlier on today. Not underway at 7 p.m., but Marco Kasper picking up his 7th of the campaign from Comfort and Fisher. And then Michael Rasmussen, his 7th of the year as well, coming in that third period with just 1932 to kind of ice things up late in that game. So as that came on the empty net, but a big win for the Wings as they pull ever closer to that wild card spot. So coveted, as somehow the Bruins, despite being 25-20 on the year, are sitting in the third spot in the Atlantic and in that third spot behind Florida and Toronto. But the Wings still only 4 points out of that spot. They're drawing ever closer. They were 5 points out of the spot, or they were 3 points out of the spot yesterday, but they do have a game in hand on the Columbus Blue Jackets. So in reality, they're only about 3 points behind them if they can pick up that extra win with that game in hand. Other scores around the National Hockey League here on a busy day on this Saturday, the 25th. Take a look at the finals first. Bruins beat the Avalanche 3-1. Oilers knocked off the Sabres 3-2 in Edmonton. Seattle defended home ice against Pittsburgh 4-1. And the Canadiens lost to the Devils in overtime 4-3. The Senators with 2 goals on the game, including Shane Pinto's 9th of the year, with that game winner from Highmore and Shabbat, make it 2-1 over the Maple Leafs. You mentioned Wings picking up that win. Blue Jackets, though, also picking up the win. They get a 3-2 overtime win. Kirill Marchenko getting the overtime win over the Kings there in Columbus. And, of course, both the Wings and the Blue Jackets coming up on a pivotal Stadium Series game at the Horseshoe, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes football team, the now national champions of the college football playoff. That game coming up later on toward the end of this month. Then the Stars on the road knocked off the Blues despite only getting 19 shots on goal to 33. The Stars get a 2-0 victory with Dadonov getting the game winner in that one. And then the Flames and the Wild battled to a close one, 5-4. Flames get the win. Now, we take a look at the current games going on. The Islanders and Hurricanes heading into overtime. Anders Lee picking up a goal for New York to tie the game at 6:26 of that of the third period. Capitals and Canucks scoreless, as well as the Predators and Ducks in the first period. So are the Panthers and the Sharks. All those West Coast games getting underway here as we've passed the 10 o'clock hour at Wings West here on the Eastern Time Zone. We'll step aside. 20 more minutes of pivotal hockey coming up in this rivalry weekend. The Chippewas trying to make it a clean sweep of the Western Michigan Stallions/Broncos here on this Saturday night, as the basketball teams have already done it. We'll see if the Chippewas can come back and do it tonight. It would need to be their first comeback win of the season, but given how they're playing tonight, I think they can do it. Stay tuned to see if they can. 3-2, Stallions lead it heading into the third period. We'll be back with the third period play-by-play right after this on CCHN. Here we go. There's no better excitement in a hockey game than a close third period. The Chippewas down 1. As we go in the final period of regulation. Chippewas are going to go left to right across your radio dial with the alternate white uniforms, with the handprints on the bottom for Autism Awareness Night. The Stallions, likewise with those handprint uniforms, but theirs are in black and gold and white. We're underway. Third period. Chippewas had the puck on the offensive end. A snapshot just wide there by Kamara from the left point. It comes back up to the near side. Campbell kept it in. A wire around the boards across the way. Siraki chasing after it. Unable to work it free. Push deep. Gibbs and Campbell. And Miller out there for CMU. Gilgren and Kamara defensively. Starting this third period as they attack left to right. Here's a shot from the point. In and out of the glove there of Kastner. Back along the corner boards, near side. Campbell hauls his man into the boards, and somehow that doesn't draw a penalty. Either way, Stallions up the wing. Gilgren broke his stick, lost it. It's free. A shot for in tight. Big save there by Woolery as it skittered through. Gilgren didn't break his stick. He just lost control of it. Picks it back up. Loose puck in the left wing corner. Pulled free. Stallions try to center it. Loose puck. Satawa had it poked away from him. Here's a shot saved by Woolery. Kicked up into the near corner. Kloppy poked it free to the far side. Centering feed knocked away from Satawa. Campbell intercepted it. It's loose in Satawa's skates. Comes free into the slot. Pulled by Gilgren. Hammered it off the boards. Campbell trying to whisk it out of the zone. And a backhand feed to nobody in particular. Friel picks it up. Cut into the middle. Big poke check there by Gilgren. Nobody home there for CMU. A shot step just wide there by Kloppy. Big opportunity there for Western as that is sent up and out of play. Big chance there for Western, and good couple of sticks by CMU to knock that away. Again, as we go on, Woolery close to facing 100 shots in this series, 78 in these two games. He's been put to work, and his defense certainly not helping him. So they give another puck away, but Western gives it right back to him. Chippewas into the zone, deflected it wide. Comes back out to the neutral zone. Crampton tipped that on ahead. It was deflected by Armentrout, so icing waved off. Hutton absorbs the check behind the net. 2 minutes gone, third period. Loose puck in the slot, controlled shot, snapped just wide. Woolery didn't see that until it was well past him. Armentrout unable to deflect it down the ice, but Friel right there to play it. So he'll negate the icing. Nick Kuhnen on the forecheck for CMU out there with Johnson, Bowers, and Armentrout and Hutton. Here's Stein. Sends it back across the far away. Up the right wing, Crampton. Across the line with 4-on-2. Then coming back for CMU, though. Crampton, his pass was blocked. Loose puck will roll in just on Woolery. Popped up in the air, and it's to the near side. Controlled here by Stein. He's got it. Turnaround shot blockered by Woolery into the near corner. Despite having faced over 80 shots, now he pops right back up. He's certainly still got the energy as we now go into the over 100th minute he's played. Now look out, Jace Johnson cutting in, hauled down in front, no penalty there for CMU. Jace Johnson, a beautiful opportunity, couldn't jam it home. Now Woolery played that behind his own goal. He's slow to get back, but he's back inside his net. Chippewas look out, Stallions have it in front, batted down, controlled here by Morgan. He chips it up to the point, kept alive, hammered in on goal. Grimes back defensively for CMU. He's taken hard in the boards. Fonovich on the wraparound. Woolery has it underneath him. Where is it? And it's kept out. My goodness, a big save there by Woolery on the wraparound by Hugo Fonovich. And he kept it out. Face off to his right. 16:49 to go, third period. Grimes off the face-off. Rattles it around the boards across the way. Nifty backhand feed out to 1-1 with Morgan and Siraki. Down the left wing, Morgan out in front. Siraki got tied up with a man coming back for Western. Into the corner. Bishop hauled down in the corner. Gets it right back though. Dishes it to the point. Martin off the backhand, able to corral it, keep it in. Rattles it around the boards. Morgan sidesteps a check from his man, and now Western able to get that out to neutral ice. Rickabaugh, the man applying the pressure here, and now Western in on the forward check. Chippewas sky this down the ice, and icing going to be waved off. Chippewas catch a break there. 4 minutes gone, third period, 3-2 Western leads. Gilgren back at his own end. Stretch pass connects with Bishop. Morgan over the line, right wing. He'll chip it in deep. Loring behind the net on the Western net with Bishop. Pursuit. Flipped it on ahead. Over the left wing. Here's Patty. Falling into the corner. Lost control of the puck. Gilgren trying to wrap it around the boards. It came up to the point. Kept in by Loring. Dished it off right side. Here's a shot through traffic. Deflected in front. That hit Kamara. He's stung a little bit. In his own left wing circle, Chippewas get out, get it to the point, but not out. Fonovich has it in the circle, a shot, snapped it over top the goal. Rebound in the right wing circle, controlled by Fonovich. The Stallion captain fed it up to the point. Centering feed for Loring, missed its intended target. Chippewas once again get to the point, but not out. Grollo chipped it across the way. Kamara tries to rattle it around the boards, can't do so. McRae gets the loose puck for CMU. He'll gain the red line and dump it in, go off for a change. A little bit of lead legs there for McRae after the end of a long shift. 5 minutes gone, third period, 4:55 to go in regulation. Battle for it down in the near corner, Stallion end. Stallion took a fall, slow to get up. Gibbs centered it, shot deflected in front there by Julian Johnson. Now a centering feed knocked away, Johnson back in the corner. He's out there with Hutton and Gibbs. Campbell on, he picks off a pass, steps in, shot, snapped it wide. Oh boy, a beautiful opportunity, but he just lifted that wide. And now Bowerson in a race for the puck, back into his own end, icing waved off. Patty forces a turnover, centered it, Satawa steps in, shot blocker, save. There by Woolery, it goes up and out of play. Oh boy, one opportunity after another for the Chippewas in the offensive end. Campbell intercepts a clearing attempt, steps right into the slot, and just snapped it about 2 feet wide. And then coming down the other way, Satawa. Woolery faces a challenge here with 14:17 to go, third period. Kloppy off the face-off, can't control for Western. Played back to the neutral zone. Here's Friel across that line. Left side, cutting in, a shot deflected in front, and they score. One off Chris Martin. A centering feed, Martin defending the back door. An unlucky bounce for CMU. It's 4-2 Western. Tough goal to give up as the Stallions work down the left wing. Friel off the intercept. Martin trying to defend out in front. Goes off his stick and into the back of the net. 5:55 the time of the goal, and it's 3 straight here from Western. Here come the Stallions once again with speed, cutting to the front of the goal on the wraparound. Big save by Woolery. It's underneath them and somehow stayed out. And now Josh Gilgren is going to get sent off for a penalty after the whistle. He decked a Stallion in the far corner. It was Carson Langer who was sent off into the corner. And Gilgren took him down. The frustration mounting here for CMU, down 2 in the third. .612, 6:12. The time of the penalty. So Stallions on the power play. They get it out in front. Fonovich, right circle. Back up to the point. Dishes it down low. Controlled by Wells. Back up Fonovich, right point. Work down the wall. Wandering down into the corner. Angling behind the net. Works to the near side. Pressure there by Siraki. Here's a shot from the point. Gobbled up there by Collis. Again, even as we go on here, it's an unlucky break for CMU to let that goal in. CMU with 1:30 left in the Gilgren minor penalty. They'll pitchfork it down the ice. This won't go for icing as they're on the penalty kill. comes the Stallions. Over the line, right wing. A man out in front, off the stick. There of Hutton. Comes to no avail. Rekabal in the corner. Got it down to Fonovich. Right circle, stepping out in front, and he scores! The hat trick for Fonovich. It's 5-2. Another power play goal here for Western. More languid play from Central Michigan. Missed pass, missed clearing attempt to get it out of the zone. And Fonovich able to pick up the loose puck in the corner, stepped in front, and snapped it past Woolery. 7-12, the time of the goal. And it's another power play goal here. It's 2 goals in a matter of a minute. Pardon me, in a matter of 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Here's Jace Johnson trying to spark some life back in for CMU. He goes in on net. And he's stonewalled by Kastner. But Fonovich gets that third of the game. And his fourth point of the weekend. Just that type of momentum swing Central Michigan's had trouble staying with throughout this season. For that matter, the last 4 years, especially when we think back to the Saginaw Valley State series that Chippewas had a couple of leads in late at the Bay. This one, though, a little different, down by 1 entering the third. And they've allowed 2 goals in a matter of 2.5 minutes. So Satawa gets the goal at 5:55. And then Fonovich gets the most recent one. Now is a deflection as the Chippewas are trying to get some more work done. They're down by 3 with under 12 to play. Morgan, backhand shot, shoveled wide, rebound will dance down into the corner. Loose puck, picked up by CMU. Gilgren from the slot, a shot snapped it wide, rebound from a sharp angle, they score! Jake Bishop has 2 goals in the last 3 games. It's 5-3. Don't count him out yet. 8:38, the time of the goal. Bishop scored his first goal, or his second goal of the year back 2 games ago against Northwood, the lone tally of that series for CMU, or pardon me, lone tally of that second game for CMU, and then gets the goal right there. It was a shot from the sharp angle by, a shot from the point by Gilgren. Karam off the end boards, and they're pretty lively here at Wings West. And it just popped out on the right side. Now look out, the Stallions are in, save. Rebound is loose out in front, and just put wide of Woolery. Back up to the point, kept alive by the Stallions. Stein, up at the point, shovels it down low. Camara picking it up there for CMU, rattling around the boards. Loring. Looked like it was Gilgren who let that shot go. They said the assist went to Siraki. Given how much trouble I've had identifying these numbers here for CMU tonight, it very well could have been Siraki. And I'm pretty sure it was Gilgren. Nonetheless, a stoppage of play at the side of the CMU net. They're only down by 2 here, 10:34 to go, third period. So Bishop, with his third of the campaign. How about this? Scored in the first game of the year for the Chippewas at Ferris State at Aviglaven. And then doesn't have a goal from that point up until last weekend. Only almost 25 games without a goal in that span, and now has 2 in the last 3. There's a hammer shot from the left point, saved by Woolery, rebound controlled by Campbell. He'll step up the right wing with speed. He's got Gibbs and Johnson with him. Dropped it off to Gibbs, right point, cuts to the slot. A shot saved by Kastner as he gobbles it up. And a few extracurriculars in front. 10:08 to go, third period. Chippewas have a face-off for the offensive end for what seems like the first time in some long time, and Gibbs lets the shot go off the face-off, and Jace Johnson getting tied up with a man on the back door, a little bit frustrated with the fact that he got tangled up. Either way, 10:05 to go. That was a great chance there by CMU, and you can hear the CMU faithful shouting, "Keep shooting." I'd say keep doing that. Kastner only has an .845 save percentage on the year. Now Gibbs right out in front, he scores! Dish from Campbell, Gibbs puts it home. 10:03, yeah, mark of the third, it's a 1-goal game. What did I say about shooting the puck? Gibbs off the face-off win. It comes down into the right wing corner. Campbell's able to fish it free. He finds his man in the slot in Gibbs, and he rips it top left corner. 5-4. This one's a hockey game again. Chippewas to the neutral zone. Bishop over the line. Got caught up with the Stallions. Satawa and Grimes go in to the corner. It comes back up top. Here's a shot that was blocked. Rebound. Comes back up to the point. Loose puck in the slot as it batted around there. Rickabaugh trying to pick it up for Western. He puts it behind the net. 9:28 to go, third period. Chippewas looking for what would be their first comeback victory in the third period since all the way back in the division quarterfinals against Lawrence Tech back in 2022. They need one more goal to get there. Western, though, pressuring in the offensive end now. Langer, hammer to the boards there by Grimes. The Detroit Catholic Central product, can't get it free. A shot blocked, rebound Satawa to the back door. Oh, and Kloppy had a wide open net on the back door. He couldn't put it home. Morgan flops it down all the way into the Western end, and it'll go off for a change. 8:47 to go in the regulation. Loring across that line, left side, cuts into the middle. A shot off the side of the net. Tried to stuff it short side by Woolery, and the Chippewa netminder said no. Collis, bouncing puck, chopped it to Carnes. Loring, high up in the air. Collis, across the way, with 8:27 to go. Back behind the net. Here's Carnes. He's got it. The far boards, pinwheels away from Kuhn. Kuhn, shot save. There by Woolery as the shot came from Carnes across the way. 8:17 to go. Chippewas down by 1. Two goals in a minute and a half, practically. Now Jace Johnson takes a spill right in front of his own bench. Good to see him get back up. He'll keep that puck in at the left point. He'll cut down to the circle, tried to feed it for Gibbs, who was trailing, but couldn't connect. Gibbs kept it in, though, at the point. He'll do it again. As Friel tried to break out. Williams on the loose puck. Swatted at it behind his goal. 7:48 to go in regulation. Chippewas down by 1 thanks to goals from Bishop and Gibbs. Just about 2.5 minutes apart. Hutton back in his own end, pressured by Carnes. 7:36 to go. In a heated rivalry game at Wings West. Campbell has the assist on the most recent goal for CMU. Will try to work out on right wing. Jackson native cut off at center. Fished across to the far side. Stallions on it. Right circle. Centering feed. It's loose. Cleared to the point but not out. Williams. Near side Loring. Sends it right across. Look out. Crampton's got speed to the back door. He scores. Wells on the tap in at 6-4. It's a defensive breakdown by CMU. The Stallions hornswoggling the Central Michigan defense. Get the man loose on the back door, and it's a 2-goal game again. Wells at 12:51. And now look out, Wells had a breakaway opportunity, but he was knocked down at the Chippewa blue line. The puck came right to him, but he was still in the process of picking up his stick. So Chippewas catch a break there. Now Lucas Hutton will dump and chase. Behind his own net, here's Hebert. Throws it around to the far side. Stein whacked it up to the point. Morgan can't control Wells. Hammered into the boards across the way. Here's Bowerson. Up with speed on right wing. Harassed from behind by Stein. How was that not a hooking penalty? Bowerson had Stein had his stick all the way up in the midsection of Bowerson, and that didn't relinquish a penalty. Now a penalty coming up on Western. Stein, rather Loring, got the elbow up on the official, and he is still jawing at him. Reminder, Loring, now he gets a misconduct. So Loring sent off here for both the interference, and he's still jawing at the official. He hasn't even stepped foot inside the penalty box yet. Reminder, he got a penalty earlier in the day for interference, and now he's still jawing at the official. He opened a penalty box to give him another word. My goodness. So some heated moments from the senior out of West Valley, Alaska. Gets the hit for interference, and then the misconduct as well. So he'll be out for the rest of the game. Time of the penalty, 13:54. Loring got the unsportsmanlike earlier on in the day. Serving the penalty will be David Patterson, the sophomore. So the Chippewas have a power play opportunity. They're 2 for 4 on the evening. Face off right wing circle, Stallion end to our right. Chippewas down by 2 with 6:06 to go. They win the face-off. Campbell has it, high slot, shot blocked. Rebound, poked to the near side. Gibbs has it, steps in, shot blocked. Rebound came up to the point. Martin couldn't keep it in. 54 seconds to go 1:45 to go in the power play. Campbell working out of the neutral zone. Over the line, pulls up at the point, slides it across to a vacated right point. Gibbs off the boards though, picks it up. He's got it, the K-Wings logo, shot just wide, rebound popped out on the far side. Campbell picks it up. Back up the left point, Martin. He has it, near side Gibbs, centering feed for Morgan, a shot, pad save, rebound. Campbell, backhand bid goes wide. Minute and 20 seconds left. Gibbs steps in, snapped it just wide, about an inch or two wide of the far post. Martin on the left side, got it for Campbell. Morgan in the slot, a shot, snapped it wide. Campbell in the far corner, 1:06 to go in the power play. CMU desperately needs to convert on this one to pull within one. Martin shot from the point, blocked in front. Morgan gets it back. 58 to go in the power play. Morgan down the wall to Campbell. Things settling down here in the offensive end with 50 seconds to go in the power play. Gibbs shot. Oh, he tried to find Morgan in front, couldn't connect. Campbell across the way. Back up top, Martin. Campbell, near side. Gibbs in the circle. His shot's blocked again. Western getting in front of every shooting angle for CMU. Now, Campbell across the way, shot through the circle. That was blocked. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Gibbs steps in, shot underneath the paraphernalia of Kastner, and he holds on. Oh boy, a suffocating power play for Central Michigan. Nothing comes of it here in that first minute and 40 seconds. They had about a minute of power play time dedicated to just cycling the puck, getting opportunities. They got to find a way to bury that somehow. Face-off won by CMU, but it goes by both the trigger man and the point man. and comes all the way back. Gilgren in his own end, backing it up to Jace Johnson. We'll turn on the Jets up the left wing. Across the line, look out, he's got some room, dropped it back. Bishop, in-shot save there by Kastner. Power play, time winding down. It's going to come all the way back out to the neutral zone. Gilgren fed it on ahead, look out, fresh out of the box. It's a 3-on-2. Oh, Gilgren broke it up. Here comes Jace Johnson. Across that line with under 4 to play in regulation. Drop pass, shot, big save by Kastner, and the rebound comes back up to the point. Shoveled deep by Bishop. Kept alive by Jace Johnson. Pulls it free from the point. Lets a shot go. Saved by Kastner. Rebound in the far corner. 4 minutes to go. Here in regulation, Chippewas down by 2. Failed to convert on that most recent power play. They're now 2 for 5 in the night. It's pucks tied up across the way, right at the top of the circle along the board. Johnson pulls it free, trying to step around his man, couldn't do so. That's Hebard. Stallions working it out to the neutral zone. Tied up in the officials' crease across the way in front of the penalty boxes. Here comes Campbell. Rink wide. His shot off the toe of Kastner. Music went on, came back off. Across the way, Hutton tried to poke it deep, jams it into the slot. It's loose. And the Stallions send it down the ice. Woolery out of his net for the empty net. Beating the race to it. Siraki in his feet, can't control it. It's free across the way. Chippewas are 6 on 5. To the near side, Bowerson with 2:43 to go in regulation. Campbell, a miscommunication with Gibbs. They can't connect. Gibbs will have to retreat back behind his own net. Stein tripped up. The Chippewas give it away. Blocked there by Campbell. Off the shot for Wells. Chippewas send this down the ice. Icing's going to be waved off. 2:24 and counting. Chippewas keep it alive. A centering feed. Knocked down. Shoveled out to center ice. Bowerson down the way. Now a slash on Gibbs. There by a Stallion. Goes uncalled. 2:09 to go, third period. Chippewas need 2 to force overtime. Campbell looking out of his own zone. A pass through center, deflected out, up and out by Crampton. 2 minutes exactly to go here for Central Michigan. Timeout taken by Central Michigan. We'll take one as well. 2 minutes to go here in regulation. Stay with us. Chippewas looking to get 2 here in the final 2 minutes. Back inside wings west. 2 minutes remaining in regulation. The Chippewas need to average a goal per minute and hope that the puck stays out of their own empty net to our left. Face off right in front of the Stallion bench across the way. Chippewas send out Gibbs, Siraki, Campbell, Morgan, Camara, and Martin. Those 6 need to get something done for the Chippewas here. They look to avoid being swept by Western. Face off in the neutral zone. Martin beating his man Collis to it. It's still loose in the Chippewa end. Picked up here by Gibbs. Lead pass Siraki in on right wing. Into the circle, trying to feed it out in front. It was blocked before it could get to its intended target in Bishop. Or in Campbell, pardon me. 1:42 to go. Camara out of his own zone. Retreating back to Martin. Stretch pass to Siraki. Going to the neutral zone. Lofted in on Kastner, and he'll hold. So the Chippewas have an offensive zone faceoff with 90 seconds left. Still time. If you can get a quick one here, possibly get a chance to tie it up. Faceoff will be to the left of Kastner. Net still empty to our left. Morgan to dig in for CMU, the alternate captain out of Orchard Lake St. Mary. He's going to be kicked out of the faceoff here. He took too long to get ready. Isaac Gibbs, the Novi grad, comes in. Off the tie-up. Can't win the faceoff. It's poked back out to the neutral zone. Here's Morgan through center. His pass ahead knocked down by Fonovich. He's got a hat trick tonight, including the dagger that made it 6-4. Here's Gibbs out through center. Long stretch pass, or long shot in. Saved by Kastner, and again another stoppage of play with 1:08 to go. Face off right circle, Morgan to dig in. He loses it cleanly. Gibbs, though, to the puck first. 1:06 to go. Chase Johnson centered it. Martin, high slot, shot deflected in front, rebound loose in the right circle, kicked away to the near side. Chase Johnson hammered into the boards across the way, centering feed knocked out. This is going to go trickling toward the empty net, but Martin's going to get back there in time. 50 seconds to go. Bounce pass off the boards at center. Here's Johnson. Weaving over the line, drifted it near side. Gibbs, too far for him. He's got to chase it into the corner to gain control. Wandering around behind the net, he coughed up the puck. Look out, the Stallions have it. Working up through center, pass ahead. Here's Patty. Patty will just turn and chop it into the offensive end with 30 seconds to go. Fonovich will just do his best to tie up the puck. It's poked free into the near side corner. Patty worked off the puck. Martin with 20 seconds to go. Chase Johnson up the left wing, across that line, over the line. He gets knocked down, maintains his feet though. 13 seconds to go. Centered in front, knocked away. The Stallions lift it down the ice. This will go trickling all the way down. Icing waved off. And with 5 seconds to go, Morgan will play it behind his own net. And the Stallions, for the first time in their history, have swept the Central Michigan Chippewas with a 6-4 win here in Kalamazoo. Certainly wasn't for lack of trying by Central Michigan. They came back, had a lead early in this one. They scored 2 goals in a matter of 2.5 minutes. Pardon me, a minute and a half. Then just 2 minutes later, Wells on a backdoor feed from the man who was the dagger all night, Hugo Fonovich. It was the dagger to the heart of the Chippewas. 6-4, the final here from Wings West. We'll step aside. Postgame show coming up next on the CMU Club Hockey Radio Network. Well, as much as it always hurts to lose to your rival, it hurts even more to be swept by them in a regular season series. And the Chippewas have the favor returned to them as they swept the Stallions back in 2017. They get swept here in 2025. Final score tonight, 6-4. And like I said, not for lack of trying by Central Michigan, as they stormed back, got within 1 with halfway through this period, and it just didn't end up going the Chippewas' way. Lots of opportunistic goals for Western Michigan. 3 power play goals, on 5 opportunities for Western Michigan. 2 of which, two of which did come from Fonovich, including his hat trick tally at 7:12 of the third period. We'll take you through goal by goal here on the CMU Club Hockey Network. Thanks for spending your night with us. We know it's a bit of a later puck drop, but as always, thank you to all of our listeners, and hope you enjoyed today's call. But we'll go goal by goal here. Fonovich opened up the scoring at 3:41 of the opening period on a power play tally. Jace Johnson, about 15 minutes later, after some back and forth action in that first period, he ties up the game on the first power play goal for the Chippewas in 6 games. The last one was back on January 10th against Northwestern, and unfortunately Chippewas weren't able to carry that power play goal momentum much further. Morgan got the lead for CMU at the 2:23 mark of the second period, but it was quickly answered just 2 minutes later by Michael Stein on the power play to make it a 2-2 game before Fonovich got his second of the game to make it a 3-2 game at 11:34. We went into the third period of play only down by 1 for CMU. The problem was that the Stallions came out hard in that third period. CMU had a couple of great opportunities, only down by 1, but it was Satawa picking up a loose puck in the circle on a beautiful feed from Fonovich, and he snapped it past Caleb Woolery, and a tough goal to give up, but Caleb Woolery played his heart out here in the last 2 days. He came up clutch for CMU in multiple different opportunities as he faced 15 shots in that third period, 93 shots on the weekend, and he stopped all but 10 of them. 83 on 93. Caleb's got to be proud of his performance. A couple of goals he couldn't do much about, including the dagger that came from Satawa as he worked down the left wing. That came just 5 minutes in. It went off of Martin in front, who was facing his man in the back door. It went off of Martin's stick and into the back of the net to make it at that point, that made it a 4-2 game. Fonovich would tack on another one on the power play for the hat trick at 7:12, and then Chippewas put up an effort, scoring at 8:38. Bishop off a carom from a shot from the point off the end boards. It came right out to him on the left side. He snapped it home to bring the Chippewas back within 2, and then Isaac Gibbs was able to, off the face-off work, get a nice feed from Campbell from the right wing corner. He snapped it over the glove of Kastner and brought the Chippewas back within 1, but then just 2 minutes later, Wells on a beautiful tap-in with Fonovich working down the right wing. Wells went to the back door, and nothing Woolery could do about that. Didn't have any help defensively on the doorstep, and that was the 6th goal of the game. That made it a 6-4 game. Chippewas pulled the netminder, but got a couple of opportunities, just couldn't find the back of the net, as that's been the story for quite a long time here this season. Getting the opportunities, not able to find the back of the net. And that's going to need to change as we get down the stretch here toward the MCHC playoffs in just about over a month. Power play numbers for CMU, 2 for 6 on the night, so not necessarily, 2 for 5 on the night, with Loring picking up that late one at 13:54, but that looked like it might have been a great opportunity for CMU to possibly get back within 1, but Western did a great job to kill off block shots, get in the passing lanes, get in the shooting lanes, and eventually Western was able to kill off that full 2-minute penalty and just wasn't able to get much going after that in the offensive end. Final score 6-4. Final shots on goal in that third period, 13 for Central Michigan for a 3-period total of 24. For Western Michigan, 15 shots on goal. That puts them at 51 on the night. And Caleb Woolery doing his work here for CMU. He's got nothing to hang his head about here tonight. 6-4 your final. Let's take a look at our impact players. Nick Kuhn for CMU had a couple of fantastic opportunities today. He was out there all over the ice for CMU toward the latter half of the game, but if you look back to that second period, he had a beautiful 2-on-2 opportunity. Jace Johnson worked over the line left side, worked down the hash marks, fed it to the slot, and where Kuhn had plenty of time and space, but he rang it off the crossbar. That would have made it a 3-3 game heading into the third period, and maybe we're talking about a much different third. But as it is, the geometry of the net stays 6x4, not 6x4 and 2 inches. So it was 3-2 at the end of 40 minutes. Other impact player was Caleb Woolery. He played his heart out. Faced 51 shots, made 45 saves. It's yet another time where he's faced 50 shots in this season. That's now including his 60 save effort, 60 shot effort in the 5-4 loss against Michigan State back on October 4th. That is the third time this season he's faced 53 shots. He's faced 50 or more shots. He played so well tonight and so well this weekend, keeping Central Michigan in it, but in the end, your offense needs to be there, and they were tonight, but it just wasn't enough. Here's Stein for Western Michigan. Michael Stein picked up the second goal of the game, his second of the weekend, including the game winner last night. And we didn't see Connor Brate tonight. He was out of the lineup, a last-minute scratch that we were not made aware of. The keys to the game, we needed to come out fast and intense, and CMU did throughout and show intensity throughout the bulk of this game, especially toward the middle half of that last half of the first period and into the second period, and then middle part of that third. Lots of intensity, but again, it needs to be a continuous 60-minute effort, and it just wasn't here tonight. As we take a look further down, here are 3 stars of the game. First star goes to Hugo Funovich with the hat trick. Isaac Gibbs getting a couple of good chances. He gets our second star with the goal to pull CMU back within 1, and then the game-winning goal for Western Michigan. Not the game winner, but more the dagger, goes to Caden Wells, the sophomore out of Grand Haven, who picked up his 4th goal of the game. So those are your 3 stars, Funovich, Gibbs, and Wells. We'll step aside, come back for one final time here from Wings West. Final score is 6-4. Stay with us. We'll take a look what's ahead on the schedule for CMU right after this on the CMU Club Hockey Radio Network. Well, at the loss here tonight, Central Michigan falls to 10-17, 1-0. They maintain their 4th place in the MCHC East, but that's because tonight wasn't a divisional contest. They'll be back in division action in just 2 weeks' time. They'll travel on the road to face the Michigan Wolverines. 4:30 puck drop from Arctic Edge of Canton on February the 7th, that Friday. We'll have that right here for you on CCHN before a bright and early game the following day, 11 a.m. The puck dropped back in Mount Pleasant for game number 2 of that series against Michigan. We'll see if we have an update for you on that Michigan and Michigan Flint game, if we can get a look at that for you here as we go on. Doesn't look like the MCHC has posted a score on that, so keep an eye on their Twitter account for that update, but that's one that CMU needs to look on because they need Michigan to stay within at least 4 points, or at most 4 points if they look to leapfrog them going in to the MCHC playoffs. But we're getting down to crunch time, and CMU desperately needs some wins, and just one they didn't get here tonight. Final look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we get out of here. The Red Wings, again, with that 2-0 win over Tampa Bay. Griffins with a 2-1 win over the Manitoba Moose. Both the Wings and the Griffins victorious tonight. Again, the toilet paper toss, the men's basketball victorious over the Western Michigan Broncos 73-51, and women's basketball also victorious 80-71. So at least take solace in that, Chippewa fans. Your basketball team swept the day. How about that? A rivalry weekend, it's always good to get a couple of wins on the court. Final from Ann Arbor, 11-5. Michigan gets the victory over Michigan Flint. Hard to think that was an overtime game yesterday. That shows you how hard Michigan Flint played, or how much of an off night it was for Michigan. Nonetheless, Michigan now up by 2 points in the standings over CMU. They solidify that lead in the MCHC East as the Chippewas fall further behind here in the division. This is a reminder that the broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, and Moorehall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distributions of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, and MHTV. Special thanks to all of you listening at home for us tonight, and everybody here at CCHN for helping make these broadcasts possible, whether home or away. It's always good to have the listener support. We appreciate you all tuning in here tonight. Final score 6-4, and that'll do it for us here from Wings West. Chippewas fall and are swept by the Broncos here this afternoon. They'll be back in 2 weeks against the Michigan Wolverines for a Friday-Saturday set on the 7th and 8th of February. Thanks for listening, and have a wonderful night, everybody.